We're back. So let's see how far we get. Um, we got the big fight, and after the big fight, I am a little fuzzy on the details, but I think there might be a big character introduction of like an hour later or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's get into it. Their battle comes to an end. The two fought fiercely, and it ended with the disappearance of the Red Knight. Now a shadow of its former glory, the reception room is in ruins. The floors are cracked and broken. Many of its walls have been knocked down. The stairs have collapsed and broken marble is scattered across the floor. There is hardly a trace of the reception room's original form. Some might even say time itself has been stolen from this space. After such vast destruction, the scene bears no resemblance to what it was just 2 hours ago. A sculpture well suited to such destruction stands in the middle of it all. Standing over 2 meters tall, it bears the crude likeness of a man, as if roughly hacked out of stone. It hardly bears mentioning. This is Iliasvil's servant, Berserker. The giant doesn't move. Its entire body is splattered with red, with several holes torn through it. Not a single inch of the giant's body isn't wounded. 1, both legs appear on the verge of collapse. 2, a massive gash on the neck. 3, arms practically hanging off the elbow. 4, something has pierced it from shoulder to groin. 5, blood gushes from its chest. 6, its belly is torn open. Berserker is not moving. He will. It's clearly a corpse. The battle itself lasted less than an hour. The result, unexpected. Berserker's master is beside herself. She should be picking off what remained of her prey, but instead she just stands there, staring at the devastation. Well, yeah, it's a servant. I mean, I just want to throw out there, it's like, it's weird that they're like, well, you stand no shot, and it's like, okay, sure, but like, he still could like get a lot of good hits in. But yeah, this is pretty crazy that the anime actually does show what happened. I'll have to double check exactly how they portray it, but from what I remember, they actually show the fight, but they don't even bother showing the fight here. It's like, oh well, it builds the mystery of who he is. It's like, yeah, sure, but like, come on, they could have shown like a little bit, right? Like, I guess he shot arrows a lot and something else. I guess we'll find out in the next route, I guess. Her voice is a low mumble now. The battle came as a humiliation to her. Even though for all she knew, he was like the second strongest servant, but okay. Her servant is the most powerful. Among all heroic spirits, maybe 1 or 2 could compete with Heracles, the most renowned hero of all time. And yet some unknown archer defeated him. Red Knight fought on equal ground with Berserker, and in the end even killed Berserker, which nobody else had even thought possible. And for that he can never be forgiven. To Ilya, it is as if she's just been stabbed in the heart by a passing insect. The weird part about this is that I think at least 5 of the servants could have killed Heracles, at least a little bit, I think. So it's weird that she's like, oh, he shouldn't even die. Like, what? Like, no, there's a lot of strong servants. She prided herself on being the strongest master. For her to lose to the sort she should have so casually trampled must be unthinkable. The statue doesn't answer. He has neither the time nor the need to do so. Berserker stands still, focusing on healing himself. Even for him, this was an unusual battle. His noble phantasm nullifies any attack. That's not really true. It's kind of weird to portray it that way. So long as the attack is not of the highest possible class, it won't so much as scratch him. As such, he rarely sustains any wound. Okay. I mean, in the animes, I think he takes a lot of hits, but okay. In his own time, none could harm him after he attained greatness. I mean, that's a little deceptive. It's not like he was fighting gods or other heroes. He was fighting monsters. Also, I don't know if Berserker Heracles is the strongest form of Hercules. I gotta say Hercules. But here now, he's been hurt 6 times. No, not hurt 6 times. He was killed 6 times. Archer delivered 6 fatal blows. Each of his attacks was of a different sort. That is, because even the strongest attacks won't work twice on Berserker. Strange as this battle was, the most truly bizarre part was, if Archer was a hero with so many different abilities, his identity should have been obvious. But even after his body was pulverized, Archer's identity remained a mystery. What was really surprising was how he carried himself in a way that seemed contradictory as a servant. Faint light flickers in the pupils of Berserker's eyes. Were Berserker a normal, rational servant, he would probably feel pretty bad about how this battle went. Whatever his identity might have been, Archer was a rare and formidable adversary. If only Berserker's sanity hadn't been taken from him, he would have fought to his heart's content and maybe even enjoyed himself. Elia's voice echoes in the shattered hall. Whatever tiny embers of rationality might have been returning to him are immediately snuffed out by her voice. He's just Berserker now. His role is to overwhelm and annihilate his master's enemies. Berserker doesn't need to answer. So long as the wound doesn't kill him, he'll heal in moments. But to completely recover from this would take as much as 3 days. Really? I mean, I guess it is 6 different wounds. Different fatal wounds. The giant silently objects. It's almost instinctive. At least when it comes to a fight, Berserker has instincts similar to Saber's. He can certainly destroy his enemy easily enough, but if Saber has recovered enough that she can use her Noble Phantasm, that will be a different story. I mean, how would you know? But okay, sure. You don't even know how powerful her attack is. Berserker will not fall to a mere sacred sword, but there is always that small chance of something going wrong. His instincts tell him that he should be completely prepared before facing this servant. Elia hops down from the stairs. She walks through the rubble to the exit without a moment's concern for Berserker, bloodied as he is. But suddenly, she stops as if remembering something. Elia heads out of the castle, giggling happily. The sun is about to rise. Elia knows the forest like the back of her hand. She won't have any trouble finding her prey, even if they try to hide. Her targets have only minutes to live. Minutes? Okay, whatever, sure. Oh, that was an interlude, right? I forgot. Wait, so do we just go to the next day then? Or, well, how's that work, actually? Because technically we're already in the day, but we didn't have like an official save point, I thought. Or did we? I don't think it was an official save point, at least. Before the interlude. And I don't know why, but I'm forced out of the ruins. Tosaka kicks me out, saying that girls have to make some adjustments and changing and stuff like that. Damn, what is she talking about? Men have things too, you know. I lean against a wall as I grumble. I guess I sound like a sore loser, and that's exactly it. I remember, and then I tried to shake off my desires. I can't think about that right now. If I keep lingering on my memories with Saber, I'm a dead man. More than anything, it would be rude to Saber. I made contact with Saber to save her. I shouldn't have any other feelings for Saber. What a crock. It's such a pathetic excuse, even I don't believe it. I can't forget what happened with Saber, but I need to, for now. Honestly, I don't have time to worry about that kind of stuff. Our concern right now is how to fight Berserker. Right, I should be doing whatever I can. He told me that there at the end. I think back to Archer. I never warmed up to him, but every word he said stuck with me. I stare at a tree branch. There's only so much I can do. I may not be much help, but I'm going to do whatever I can as best I can. For starters, I snap off a nearby tree branch. Then I try to find other straight branches. Tosaka's voice reaches me in my search. I head back to the ruins, carrying the branches I collected. Well, the only other problem is whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly. Whether I can the problem okay. Well, the only other problem is whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly. I feel like that was a run-on sentence there. Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't get his deaths on screen. I mean, I know that he's going to have a whole route dedicated to himself later, but still, like, off screen, that's still pretty crazy. But I guess, you know, when the writer wrote this, they were like, okay, well, we're going to see him plenty in the next route, so yeah, very confident. I guess I was worrying over nothing. Saber is her usual self. They just finished an interlude where they showed Berserker and Ilya, so like they could have shown Berserker versus Archer right there. Also earlier they had an interlude where they had Saber versus Assassin, so you know that was off screen from Shiro, who, you know, when it's his perspective. Yeah. Oh right, I'll be there. Damn, I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm so damn dumb being the only one blushing over this, so I'm gonna do my best to keep my composure.
来たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。バーサーカーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
Saber and I nod.
作戦としては単純よ。まともな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。勝つためには奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。同感です。バーサーカーと打ち合ったところで、あれには致命傷を与えられません。
The weird part is that up to this point, they had never seen Berserker get injured, so I don't know why they were like, we have no shot against him. We have to like one shot him, and it's like, okay, so why do you think he's so strong though? like they don't know anything about his capabilities, but they're like, well, we got one shot him, and it's like, okay. I mean, you could say that about any servant. If you can do that to any servant, then that's what you should do. Besides trading blows, are you saying we need to attack Berserker before he realizes he's being... Yeah, it's called an assassination. Well, sure, I think it's reckless to go toe-to-toe with him, but that just sounds reckless. He's not the sort to just let something like that happen. That is true.
バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。あっちにはイリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。私は気配を隠せるから大丈夫だけど。
I don't understand the logic, but I get the sense Ilya can detect me and Saber. And if Tosaka is the only one who can conceal herself, you're not saying that you'll be the one launching the ambush, are you?
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのはシローなんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。隙をついて後ろからバッサリやるのは任せなさい。
I actually... Oh, you mean, I believe it's sex scenes, basically. I believe. I don't know. I assume, like, basically just instead of saying, oh, well, we have to transfer magic circuits, it's just, if you guys have sex, then she could recover her magical energy with mana transfer. I think that's where the mana transfer meme comes from. But it's confusing because, like, they could still do like a lower level mana transfer, you would think, like, you know, whatever, kissing, or, again, I've been mentioning it all the whole game, but, like, why can't they just, like, cut their wrist and, like, give them some blood, you know? Like, we know blood does recover servant energy. Yeah. That is pretty funny, actually. Oh man, we're having the most insane battle between Berserker and Archer. Meanwhile, anyway, just having sex in some shack in the woods, whatever. It's vital to win. Trust me, Archer. That is pretty funny. But yeah, I don't. Earlier they showed that Ryder could suck blood from Shiro to regain magic. So I don't know why Rin never brings up that you can just take blood from a human to recover magical energy. It's very weird. Unless they're trying to portray it, like, or act as if only Ryder can do that, but I don't think that's the case. But I don't know. Like, in this, so far they've only said that servants have to eat souls, but then we again see Ryder drink Shiro's blood, so it's like, wait, what's going on here? Or are we just supposed to assume in that bad end that Ryder kept drinking his blood until she ate his soul? I guess, I don't know. You make it sound so easy, but you sure as hell know it won't be.
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。セイバー、体はどのくらい回復した？通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが、宝具の使用は避けるべきです。今の魔力では、おそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますから、バーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろんシロも一緒で、私は隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ。はあ、それはまあ可能性はなくはありませんが。可能性が低いならあげて。シロはイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
Tosaka looks at me meaningfully. I may have some objections, but I'll hear you out. If I tell Ilya that Tosaka fled, she'll believe me. She doesn't doubt what people tell her.
だとしても問題はあります。私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シローに同じことはさせられません。シローではバーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。誰もシローに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。シローはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのが難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。
Okay, I don't know exactly what that means, but okay.
バカな。シローはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。援護と言っても何を。
Yeah. What?
それはシローが考え
て。I don't know.
もっともバーサーカー相手だとマスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。シローだけじゃなくて、私だって手を出せばセイバーの足を引っ張るもの。
I guess it's because it's Fate Stay Night that they don't mention, hey, you actually can use your Noble Phantasm. Just use a command spell. But there's been many times in this story where I'm like, wait, why aren't you using a command spell? Wouldn't that be really useful to solve the problem going on?
それでも一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。シローが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。それはそうですが。
Saber makes a face and falls silent. Since Tosaka's gone quiet too, she must understand how reckless her proposal is. Can't blame her for being worried. The night I met Saber, the night Berserker attacked, the only thing I managed to use to defend her was my own body. There's a strong possibility that we're heading toward a repeat of what happened that night. So while it may be best for me to distance myself from the battlefield, I'm not going to do so unless they force me to. I know, I'll try to think of something to support from a distance. Was it really that much of a surprise? I just have to support Saber from a distance, right? I'll come up with something. Grab the tree branch I gathered earlier, as I say that. They're just the right lengths and about exactly the right kind of flexibility. This is the first time I've done this kind of strengthening, but I don't think I'm wrong in principle here. Basically, I just need to layer my strengthening until it turns into something substantial. Besides, he had something like this, so I can use it as reference. On top of that, magical energy has been flowing through my body for a while now. All I have to do is to repeat my usual process. I analyze its basic structure and change it. I analyze material's composition and reinforce it. Why is there 2 lines? Oh, starting from the branch. My result should be his bow, but something's missing. I need to think of this from the standpoint of creation. If I want to make something as close as possible to the real thing, I need to envision everything I can about it, down to the smallest detail. Opened my eyes. The warped branch was the right shape, but something wasn't. Crap, it's not even close. It's ugly, distorted, and yet I can tell it will work fine as a bow. Now I just have to create an arrow following the same concept.
Shiro, 今の
Yeah, I think I got the hang of it after the incident with Shinji. You said it yourself. Don't strain myself.
まあ手段ができたのはいいことだし、今はいいわ。話を戻すけど、とにかく2人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう。私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるから。で、セイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら、死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする。作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど。
Which is really stupid because you can at least, like, of everything that we know, we can guess that Hercules is not affected by magic very much. Like, his magic resistance should be very, very high. So her being like, I know, I'm going to use my strongest magic ability. And that'll be A rank or higher, surely. Like, what? No, it won't. What? That should do nothing to Berserker. Like, what? Whatever. Tosaka turns her attention to us, checking whether we have any questions.
宝石というのは輪の魔術ですか。だとしても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません。彼を傷つけるには最大純度の攻撃でなければならないのですから。分かってる。要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ。
You're saying we need an attack that's at least rank A. Sheesh. As she says this, Tosaka pulls several jewels from her pocket.
その宝石は私が物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよ。これ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる。10個あったんだけどね。
I'm gonna have to look into this. She hasn't even gone to Hogwarts. Well, here's the problem. Once she goes to the clock tower, I think they portray her as clowning on everybody. Like, there's nobody who even comes close to matching her intelligence and skills, which seems excessive. Yeah, her dad died. Yeah, I don't want to talk about her potential. I really don't want to talk about her potential. I was looking into that after the Star Rail event, and I'm like, the glaze on this girl is so annoying. Like, I'll believe in all of the Ilya glaze, but I believe none of the Rin glaze. Like right here, her saying each of the gems is an A rank magic attack. That sounds absurd. There's no way. Like, there's just no way. Like, A rank is pretty damn high. Like, what? That's so bizarre.
そうか。あの時の魔術ならば、確かにバーサーカーは防げない。彼には私のような対魔力はありません。
Oh, really? I thought you
魔術で
did.
あっても、それが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する。
Yeah, if. Let me go check this. Like, what? I don't believe you. What? Hercules doesn't have magic defense? How? I mean, how would they even know is the bigger question. Like he has A rank divinity and can nullify mental attacks, which are a type of magic. And he's immune. It's been mentioned that he's immune to a lot of physical attacks. But nah, he's not immune to magic attacks. Now, to be fair, I think I remember hearing that berserkers are specifically weak to magic. Actually, that's like a really common thing. But I feel like Hercules would be an exception. You would think. I mean, look at this. Constitution A, Strengths A, Luck B, Magic A. Being A kind of implies magic resistance, I feel like. Yeah, I mean that's the question. I don't quite know what is considered common knowledge when it comes to classes. You know, people always like to say, well, Saber is the strongest class, and like I'm always confused by it because on a fundamental level, there is no reason why a Saber should be stronger than most classes. I feel like, you know, plenty of Lancers would be really strong in history, and Riders could, you know, be just as strong as a Saber. Just, you know, some of these Riders have like swords or whatever, so it's kind of weird. And then Berserkers, I don't know. I feel like most Berserkers should be beating Sabers, since like they both could be using swords. You know, like the weapon wise they're about the same, and Berserkers, you know, like they have less endurance because they'll use up their magic quicker, but they should be physically stronger than Sabers. So it's like I don't really understand how in a one-on-one fight Berserker should beat anybody. Now, if, you know, after beating 1 or 2 or 3 servants, then okay, they're running low on magic. I understand in that case. And then Archer, I don't know that many famous archers in history. And then in Fate Grand Order, there's some silly archers like what am I thinking? Nikola Tesla is an archer. Like, why? Yeah, I guess this is where she's got all the potential. She knows what she's talking about. Like, oh, she knows what the magical resistance of Hercules would be, I guess.
そういうことよ。本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど、悠長なことは言ってられないわ。バーサーカーには特別に2つか3つは叩き込んでやるんだから。
Tosaka puffs out her chest confidently, which usually means that she's gonna fail, but okay, sure. However, hey, aren't you being a little stingy?
同感です。私が言えることではありませんが、せめて半分使い切るぐらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが。何よ、そんなの人の勝手でしょ。あなたたちね、私がどれほど苦労してここまで貯めたって思ってるのよ。
Saber and I protest silently. Tosaka's life depends on this operation too. We can't let ourselves fail just because she's being stingy. I mean, I would say, hey, why don't you attack Ilya? And okay, I'll give credit and say that Ilya could withstand all of those. Or sorry, Ilya wouldn't be able to defend all those attacks. Like, I'll believe that one, sure. But like, was she always planning to use the gems against servants? That seems hard to believe.
わかったわよ。半分使えばいいんでしょ、使えば。何よ、言ってみただけじゃない。私だってそれくらい分かってるんだから。とにかく作戦はそれだけよ。あとは私が隠れられて、シロがセーバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃ。イリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう。
Yeah, we can stay in these ruins. We can't stay in these ruins anymore. And like Tosaka said, we need to find a place where we can all lie in wait for Berserker. But before that, Saber. I wonder if Saber's really okay. She says she has no problem fighting, but wouldn't it be hard for her to go up against Berserker when she's so weak? Or I suppose I'm more concerned about her noble phantasm. That's what Saber said. That means Saber will disappear the instant she uses that attack. Saber.
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
Before we go out to fight, can you promise me one thing? Yes.
それが私にできることならば構いませんが。
Okay, well, yeah, I don't want you to use your Noble Phantasm no matter what happens. It's important, and I don't want you to die, even if it means we defeat Berserker.
ええ、分かっています。私も宝具を使う気はありません。今の魔力でバーサーカーを倒せるとは限りませんし、何より消えてしまっては聖杯を手に入れられない。
She's as direct as ever. It's a relief to hear. Okay, yeah, that's the Saber that I know. It's good to hear you being so insanely calm.
それはどういう意味でしょうか、シロ。
Nothing at all. Let's just get going. Tosaka will get upset again if we keep her waiting.
そうですね。リンはシロに文句を言うのが趣味のようですから。
What's that kind of weird observation? Saber turns to leave the ruins. But then, she trips on a chunk of rubble and stumbles forward. Quickly grab her hand from behind. Come on, watch your step. You'll need to be careful in this mess. Huh? Saber seems to be blushing. Saber, what's wrong? Did something happen?
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが、手を握られていると、
Saber's face turns a deep crimson. You must look like I did a few minutes ago. Ah, I find myself blushing too now. With her hand in mine, I suddenly remember the sensations I felt with Saber and quickly pull my hand back. Wait, so, I'm gonna definitely have to look up exactly how the original version of the story did everything it did. Because, okay, yeah, they had sex, okay. But then in this version, he went into her mindscape and saw a massive dragon. So he just didn't get that in the original version. Like, that seems really weird. That dragon feels like a very different vibe than this dragon ate me and crunched on my soul or something versus I had sex with her. That's it. Like, what? That's so dramatically opposite. Yeah, like, they didn't change much of the scene here, I feel like. It's like, okay, I understand that she still feels like a very deep physical, emotional, magical connection with him, but still, like, oh yeah, that's right, it was a threesome. I forgot about that. Yeah, I did hear some meme about that. I don't quite understand how that works, but whatever. I've heard that the scenes are very amateur porno type stuff of like clearly a 20-year-old guy being like, well, I'm gonna wing it. I've never written this type of stuff before. 20-year-old Japanese man who may never have had sex before. Like, everything about it's like, okay. Oh yeah, Mirin helps or something, I guess. The two of us stand rigidly, saying nothing. But let's head out. We'd better get moving. We don't have much time.
そうですね。急ぎましょう、シロ。
Wait, shouldn't Rin be extremely awkward in this situation too? In that case, if she was involved, I don't know. Or maybe she like understood that she was the third wheel, I guess. We head out after that bit of awkwardness. Once we're outside, we'll never come back here again. I look back toward the ruin for the last time, and then turn back to the battlefield. That makes more sense given the original context of the scene. But given this context, it's like, what are you like? What's so special about this room? Why are you like, oh, this is such a special room? It's where I went inside her mindscape. Like, we reach a clearing in the forest. Oh yeah. It was like a job, basically, right? The sun is rising and a white layer of morning mist blankets the forest. Compared to the much denser forest around us, this is a good vantage point. Tosaka, this place doesn't seem bad.
そうね。条件はいくらかクリアしてるけど、見晴らしが良すぎるのがどうもね。これじゃあ私はともかくセイバーとシローの逃げ道がないもの。
Tosaka is such a perfectionist if she's even considering escape routes.
他は渡りましょう。大丈夫。まだ時間はあるわ。
Tosaka returns to the forest, but Saber stands motionless, staring off into the distance.
セイバー、何してるのよ。早くしないとイリアスフィールに。
A chill runs up my spine. I could never forget this feeling. I can't see him or feel his presence, but the sudden weight of the air pressing down around me is definitely coming from him. Blue time. Woohoo! I found you! Ilya's voice echoes from somewhere in the forest. Beyond the mist, from deeper in the forest, a dark figure approaches. Oh my gosh, it's so far away. Yeah, spiritual. Yeah, it's spiritual pressure, which I'm like, I feel like the way they talk about Hercules is very confusing. As far as I know, if you can't sense magical energy, I don't think that you should be able to, like, sense their presence, really. It's very weird. It's like he's just so foreboding. It's like, I don't know if there's anything like this later in the series. Wait right there. I'm coming to kill you. Wait right there. I'm coming to kill you. Maybe it's because we're in a clearing with an open view of the sky, but it feels like Ilya is peeking down at us from up in the clouds.
やば、あいつもう白を見つけたの？まずい、ここじゃ視界が広すぎる。何よこのスピード。これじゃあ2分か。ちょっと何のんびりしてるのよ2人。ここじゃまずいって言ってるでしょ。早く場所を変えないと。
I still don't understand why a big open space is a bad idea. Tosaka grabs our hands, but it's too late. No, this is fine, Tosaka. We're lucky enough that the three of us are able to fight together. We can't ask for anything more.
バカ、それがまずいんだってば。ここじゃ横幅がありすぎるの。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを止められないし、いくら離れてたってあんたも前に入っちゃうじゃない。
I mean, no matter where they go, Hercules can just destroy whatever trees are in the way anyway, so... I know you're concerned for me, but we're all in danger here. Besides, we can't escape now anyway.
それはそうだけど。
Are you ready, Saber? We're fighting Berserker here. Saber nods.
わかったわよ。簡単にやられたら怒るからね。
Osaka, apparently convinced, disappears into the mist. Once she goes into action, she acts quickly. She darts into the forest and then scrambles up a tree. They're coming, Saber. Are you ready? I should ask you one the same.
戦いが始まったら、決してここから前には出ないように。何があろうと、バーサーカーをここには近づけさせません。
And the mist wavers. Out of the morning fog, a dark shadow spreads across the clearing. A mad warrior, led by a pale girl, steps into view.
意外ね。てっきり最後まで逃げ回るとばかり思ってたのに。それとも、もう観念したの？お兄ちゃん。
Ilya is about 40 meters from me. We face each other from opposite ends of the clearing.
セイバーは治ったんだ。そっか。だから逃げ回るのはやめにしたのね。欲しいな。そんなことで私に勝てると思うのは可愛いんだけど。残念ね。シロはここで死ぬんだもの。
Her giggles echo in the forest. Apparently that ticks her off. Saber, still standing beside me, is practically vibrating with animosity. She might launch herself forward at any moment.
もうつまんないな。ずいぶん無口になっちゃったのね。もしかして殺されるのは怖いの？そんなのもったいないよ。今命乞いをすれば私も許してあげないこともないんだから。
Tosaka is probably in position. She'll probably want to be as close to the center of the clearing as she can. There's a spot where the tree branches overlap. It should be sturdy enough to support her weight.
そう。あくまでそういう態度なんだ。なら、もうおしゃべりはここまでだね。リンとモドも殺してあげ。待ちなさい。リンはどうしたの？シロ。
Have to give it to Berserker's master. She knows better than to overlook any details. Tosaka's gone. We stopped working together a while ago.
別行動を取ったの？そっか。セイバーを連れてるシローは足手まといだものね。リン一人ならもっと遠くに逃げられる。そうかしら。この森はアインズベルンの結界よ。誰が入ってきて誰が出ていったかぐらいはわかるんだから。あれから外に出た人間は一人もいない。リンはまだ森にいるわ。探し出すのはこの後でも十分よ。
That's a relief. If Ilya only detects who's going in and out, she doesn't know where Tosaka is now. That, and she believes my story pretty easily. Ilya is a truly merciless master, but is she too merciless to have a chance to start over? Ilya, before we fight, there's something I want to ask you. Would you consider quitting being a master and ending this battle?
できないよ。おじいさまの言いつけだもの。
I had always assumed that she killed her grandfather, though, and everybody else at the Einsburn estate. But I don't know. I don't know if we ever get full disclosure on that.
バーサーカーがいる限り、私はアインツベルンのマスターなの。イリアは他のマスターたちを殺して聖杯を持ち帰らなくちゃいけないんだから。
But see, this is confusing here, because this isn't true. Why does she believe that she's supposed to bring home the Holy Grail? Because that specifically isn't possible. And it's weird because like her mom did know all the ins and outs of the situation. So it's like maybe they were, before they could tell her, she killed everybody who would have told her, maybe? I don't know.
それにもう一度だけ聞くのはこっちだよ。私はアインツベルンの当主だからあんな言葉二度は言わないわ。けどシローが答え直すって言うんならちゃんと聞いてあげてもいいんだよ。
She sounds almost hopeful. As long as I have Saber with me, I can't agree to what she's asking. My answer is unchanged. I'm Saber's master. If you're not going to quit being a master, I'll defeat Berserker and make you quit. I look at both Ilya and Berserker and say that. In that instant, the air in the clearing tenses with a sharp snapping sound.
そう。なら、本気で殺してあげる。その思い上がりと一緒に、粉々に砕いてあげるわ、シロー。
What? What the heck's that? There's some sort of inscription appearing on Ilya's face. No, it's not just her face. It's a huge command spell covering her entire body, and I can't even see it. I can even see it at this distance. So much more massive than the ones we have. I don't know why he keeps calling them command spells. I assume they're magic circuits, but maybe it's something else. Well, yeah. What I'm saying is, as far as I'm aware, when she summoned Berserker in Germany, it's portrayed in the anime, in Heaven's Feel, I think, that she killed everybody there, because like she was like, I forget why actually, but I believe. Well, wait. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I just heard that she killed everybody. I know that Hercules saved her from a whole bunch of wolves, but I still thought I remember her killing a lot of Einsburns. I'll have to look it up, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
遊びは終わりよ。蹴散らしなさい、ヘラクレス。
Ilya's voice is completely lifeless, and in response, the giant behind her howls. His roar shakes the earth. He screams and thrashes like he's lost his mind. His abilities grow even more powerful, like his body swelling with deformed masses.
そんな理性を奪っていただけで凶暴化させていなかったというのか。
I'm not surprised Saber is shuddering. Even I, who can't gauge the warrior's strengths, can tell I shouldn't be getting anywhere near that monster.
行け。近寄る者はみんな殺しちゃえ。バーサーカー。
The air explodes. The giant bellows a roar so different from its anguished wail and leaps. Saber! A streak of silver surges forward in answer. Berserker lands in the middle of the clearing. The earth shakes. Saber intercepts Berserker as if stopping a falling meteor. It's like watching a mythical battle unfolding in front of me. Oh, that's a good shot. In a forest shrouded by morning mist, two shadows clash relentlessly. Berserker is simply overwhelming. Berserker's swipes are like whirlwinds, his downward strikes like waterfalls. Even Saber wouldn't survive a direct hit. But Saber deflects his every attack without faltering or hesitating. She swipes aside the barrage of strikes, raining on her like a raging storm. Fail would mean being cut down on the spot. To Saber, each of the rapid blows seemed to strike with her opponent's full might. Clash of swords echoes around the clearing. Berserker has greater reach. Berserker is faster. Berserker has more stamina. All Saber can do is parry the titanic surges of wind from Berserker's swings to mitigate the sheer strengths, all just to avoid being cut in half. Berserker is like a broken jackhammer. His blade spins in all directions, annihilating everything in its path. Just getting in reach could only be fatal. There would be no hope of escape. They'd get caught in that whirling blade and ground to dust. No normal human would have a chance against that. And if getting close can only mean death, then the only option is fleeing. But Saber steps into the whirlwind and doesn't retreat. She'll be shredded to pieces. The sword sparks off of her, slowly chipping her armor away. Standing in the middle of that vortex, she could be dead in a heartbeat. I can only hold my breath. In ancient times, heroes who fought dragons and demonic beasts must have all been like this, like her. They know perfectly well how vast a gap in strengths between them is, but they bet everything on a 1 in a million shot, a seizing mass of violence beyond anything humans are capable of. They just defended until a single opportunity presented itself. Many warriors died without ever seeing the miracle they were waiting for. That's exactly what this battle is. It is a glamorous, eye-catching battle, but it only ends one way, with Saber's defeat. Each blow chips away a little more at her. Berserker's roar shakes the ground. The sheer whirlwind of his frenzy churns up the atmosphere and sends Saber flying as she tries to defend. Every time Berserker's attacks chip away a bit of Saber's armor, she's thrown to the ground. But instead of remaining down or on her knees, Saber charges right back at Berserker every time. But she's at her limit. Saber's breathing is labored and her movements are visibly slowing. There won't be any openings. In a few moments, Berserker's titanic weapon will shatter Saber's sword. I grip the bow I made. I'm going to... Yeah, like I was wondering what he was doing. Back up. The moment Saber goes flying, I fire at Berserker. They won't hurt him, but should at least get his attention. The arrow hit Berserker squarely on the temple, but it doesn't even leave a scratch. Not surprising. I can't even get his attention. The giant does not block the arrow. He doesn't even seem to care. Ilya's laugh echoes through the forest. Damn. Can't do anything. Saber's about to collapse right in front of me, but I can't do anything. I'm powerless. No matter what I do, I can't hurt Berserker, and I'm just distracting. Saber. The slash. Saber sinks into the ground all the way to her ankles as she parries a massive blow. The parrying blade is swift but heavy. The axe swings down from overhead. The brutally powerful weapon grazes Saber's armor as she dodges, then tears up the earth itself. My jaw is clenched so hard my teeth could well shatter. Is there really nothing I can do? I can't protect Saber. I can't fight alongside her. There's nothing I can do. All I can do is... Oh...
ならばせめてイメージしろ。お前にできることなど所詮その程度でしかないのだ。
Archer said something like that.
外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
Yeah, what was he saying again? It wasn't one of his typical snide remarks. What he said had weight and importance to it, and I needed to understand. Then again, probably everything he told me was a warning I shouldn't ignore. Saber goes flying. This time it's not because she leaped away to evade. Berserker hit her this time. That hurricane slash strikes Saber in the side. She stumbles. Hopping violently, she grips her weapon tighter and turns back toward Berserker. The giant doesn't miss the opportunity, the opening Saber finally provides. So, stop! My voice doesn't reach them. Shouting is useless and trying to use a bow like Archer would be pointless. Don't I understand yet? What can I do? What should these hands of mine be doing? That's right. What do I need to save Saber? I can't use a bow. A spear won't pierce him. Having a weapon just like the enemy's is no solution either. To go up against that giant, a sword to cut through a mountain of stone, an opulent sword, sharper than sharp, that will never dull, a king's sword able to cut down enemies in a single blow. Like that golden sword I saw in my dream, a sword fit for her. My head hurt. I try to fight down my nausea, but I never take my eyes off Saber. Strangely, the longer I watch Saber fall, the more this indescribable pain assaults me. Saber and Berserker seem to be moving in slow motion. I see a row of switches line up. Saber coughs, and for a brief second she arches in pain. Berserker smashes his axe sword down toward her with all his might. It's as if there's a row of nails in need of hammering down. It's like he's knocking down dominoes. The switch flips. Saber. Berserker's axe sword cuts Saber down. She's going to die. The strike splits Saber in half at the waist, and pieces of her flesh go flying. No, that's not what happened. What's happened? No, that's not what's happening. The only thing that's gone flying is a piece of armor. Berserker's only split Saber's armor. Saber left herself open to bait Berserker into a single huge swing, and with every ounce of strength she has, she rushes at him. Black roar rips through the air, but he can't escape now. Saber's right in front of him. She shifts her grip on her sword and darts in closer, then swings with all her might. I don't believe this. Saber's attack hits home, and the giant, who had seemed unmovable, flies back several meters. Then comes the true attack. I'm like, wait, why did Rin say that? Okay. She must intend to release the attack from as close as possible. Tosaka jumps down from the branch above and throws her jewels at Berserker as she falls. Shards of ice rain on Berserker. Among those shards are 3 giant spear-shaped icicles, each packed with enough magical energy to blow an entire mansion to smithereens. Really? Yeah, I was thinking about that too. About like Shiro telling Saber, "Hey, wait, I gotta shoot him," and then Rin saying, "Hey, wait, I gotta like guys, just attack." Like Saber gets it, you know. Why do they have to? This seems like a Japanese thing to warn the enemy and allies. It's like, hey, if you guys just coordinate correctly, you don't have to actually warn the other before you do what you had already been planning to do anyway. Lilia, quiet until now, suddenly screams at her servant. She must have sensed the danger, but too late. The ice spears aren't falling. They're accelerating toward Berserker. Ice spears. Okay. He can't possibly dodge. I mean, couldn't he block him? A 1 in a million opportunity. Saber's desperate attack, perfectly coordinated with Ice Bullet attack, has more than enough magical energy to kill Berserker. What does magical energy have to do with creating ice spears that you throw at an opponent? Like, how does the magic part come into the attack part? Like, the magic was used to create the ice and launch it at somebody. But, like, how is that a magic attack? How is that any different than just grabbing a whole bunch of icicles and just throwing them at somebody? I guess technically they're more durable, probably. I guess. However, well, yeah, duh. Like, oh my gosh, he can attack with a single with one hand instead of 2. Oh my god, like, yeah. Blood splatters the clearing. Maybe it's his one-arm swing, but he fails to completely destroy the ice. And when it strikes, it severs one of Berserker's arms. Oh, okay, that's more significant than I was expecting. A lot more. That's not all. The ice freezes over Berserker's arm, completely restraining it. But it only got one arm. Saber cries out. It's a reasonable response. Berserker catches Tosaka with his good arm as she's falling. Wait, but I thought he already had the axe in his hand, and then he has no other arm. But then he also catches Tosaka with his good arm. So did he drop his weapon then? That seems like a stupid thing to do in the middle of battle. Why didn't he just swing his weapon at Tosaka? Is it because they didn't want to kill Tosaka? Like, it doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, no. Maybe they're saying that the weapon arm got destroyed. Okay, that makes sense. I think I didn't quite understand that part. Tosaka's face twists in pain. Berserker will have no trouble crushing Tosaka with his hand. Tosaka! I run. I don't care if I drag them down. It doesn't matter if I can't do anything. I'm not going to let Tosaka die. Saber must be too weak to even stand, but somehow she gets to her feet. Tosaka must be in agonizing pain. Wow, this is lasting forever. Like, what's stopping Saber from just, like, slicing Hercules' arm off, you know? That's why I'm, like, confused why Hercules was, like, priority 1, grab Ilia? Like, I thought priority 1 would be grab your weapon. Tosaka must be in agonizing pain, but she stretches a hand out as she hangs her head downward. And then... all according to plan. She grins wickedly. So wait, how many of her gems is she using? Everyone gasps. Saber and me and even Berserker must have all frozen in our tracks. One person can only have so many tricks up their sleeve. I mean, we literally can count every trick in her sleeve, but okay. She knew this might happen and she hadn't even bothered to tell us. What? What do you mean by that? Berserker squeezes harder around her. He's a heartbeat too late. 4 bullets of pure light streak towards Berserker. 4 bullets, 4 gems. 4 rapid shots at the most extreme close range. That has to be enough to end the Dark Mad Warrior. Or rather, the attack perfectly, completely snuffs out his life. It must have blown Berserker's head clean off. The blood splatters even reaches me, 10 meters from where Berserker stands. There's kind of a lot more blood, more than blood in the mess, but I don't think she overdid it. Our opponent was a monster. Berserker would have crushed Tosaka if she hadn't blown his head off. Phew. I slow my frantic run. Tosaka is still in Berserker's grip. But the battle's over. Okay. That seems like a big alarm bell. It's like, oh yeah, I blew him away. But I'm still being held by him. Okay, sure. Okay. Berserker's face is still hidden in the plume of smoke. From that singeing sound, it must have been a hell of an explosion. Oh no. No way. I hear Tosaka's voice. She's looking at the smoke in disbelief. I mean, just off the top of my head, what's stopping Ilya from using a command spell to strengthen Berserker? Ooh. Hold on, am I imagining things? Did Berserker's hand tighten on Tosaka? Tosaka's staring at the plume of smoke. It doesn't last long. The smoke starts to dissipate, and in the clearing air, Berserker's face, the face that should have been blown off his body, appears. Ah, Tosaka cowers under that evil demon's gaze, at a loss for words. Laughter fills the air. Ilya, who's remained at the far side of the clearing, laughs delightedly. I'm very confused how strong Hercules is supposed to be. Like, I get that the gems are powerful, but I still find it hard to believe that it's like, Berserker's unbeatable. Oh no, not magic beams. Like, wait a second. Wait a second. Could Caster, specifically Fate Stay Night's Caster, actually maybe beat Hercules? I feel like she could like use like beams, like a magic circle that would stun him, flight. I don't know. I mean, that alone would definitely kill him a few times. I won't die unless I die 12 times. She must have figured something out from what Ilya just told her. Tosaka looks aghast, her face twisted in regret. Ahsoka. I'm gonna have to look into Hercules more, because like I thought he usually used a club, but instead he uses an axe. And then she mentions the bow of the Hydra, which is like, well, yeah, he could use it, but obviously the bow of the Hydra would be for the archer. Obviously. Like, why would the Berserker have bow with Hydra, the Hydra bow? She better not say how many times he's already died. Oh gosh. I literally just said it. I literally just said it. It's like, just okay, now just don't tell them how many lives he's got left and you're good. Oh, okay, and then he just said it. Okay. Like that, like she might as well told them his true name again. Like, that's so silly. Yeah, you always got to explain everything. But yeah, when it comes to the Hercules has to, like, it's too strong if he's not a berserker. It's kind of confusing because, like, you actually see him as an archer in Fate Strange Fake, and I mean, because of the way they summoned him, he's actually pretty stupid in there too. And they also kind of imply that maybe he would be too honorable, actually. He might be like an insanely honorable servant when he's summoned normally. It's hard to say, though. It's hard to say. We don't see him sane enough for a long enough time. Yeah, I've played God of War.
惜しかったわねリー。今のが5倍の宝石だったらバーサーカーは消えていたのに。
Yeah, I mean, I would normally think that Hercules isn't necessarily like strong. I would say he's very instinctive. Or sorry, not very smart. He's instinctive. Like he doesn't plan stuff out necessarily. He's just survives long enough and dodges attacks long enough, and is strong enough that he can figure out a solution. Yeah, exactly. Like for a good while, you would say that Kratos is basically just Hercules. Like the difference is really minor. So it's really funny when he actually does end up facing Hercules, and it's like, okay, this is interesting. It's an interesting fight. Yeah, it's weird. Well, it's weird to say that Hercules was once human since he is a demigod. It's really hard to understand how strong monsters were back then. I don't know. The Greek world sounds really wild when you think of all the heroes who were alive within a very short period of time. Like it's been mentioned that even that Hercules went on what's his the boat, what's the Greek boat called? Yeah, the Argos. Yeah, that he went on the Argo, and it's like, and then I'm like, wait, what? Like, I didn't think that the Argo and Hercules were around at the same time, and apparently he went on the Argo for just even a little bit, and so it's like, okay, him being on the Argo means he was alive at the same time as Atalante and Medea and the captain of the Argo and Asclepius and Castor and Pollux, and it's like, that's a lot of heroes who are alive at the same time. Like, this feels like it's overpowered for that specific point in time. like they must have killed most of the monsters just in that 30 to 50 year time frame, basically. And well, actually, I didn't know for a long time that Perseus is apparently like Hercules' grandpa, which is also really, really crazy. Yeah. Although I don't quite remember how old everybody lives to be fair. So like Medea, like I don't remember if she lives to be like 30 or 40 or 50. Whereas like Hercules, I feel like the Hercules probably died before he was 40. Since I know that he eventually ended up marrying somebody, and then like she gets tricked into poisoning him. I don't think that he has kids, actually. I could be wrong on that though. Anyway. I can't hear Ilya's voice clearly. From the corner of my eye, I see Saber charging Berserker.
リン逃げて
Saber dashes over. Tosaka tries to pry open Berserker's fingers, but they won't budge. And then...
いいよバーサーカー、そいつ潰しちゃえ。
The burning eyes glare at Tosaka. Oh. Tosaka screams. Berserker's enormous fingers dig into Tosaka, trying to rip out her insides. There's only one outcome. Tosaka's lifeless body being crushed to nothing. Yeah, he got a new family after that. Hercules had there was the Kratos thing of he went crazy and killed his family. And I know that that's why he actually follows what Ilya tells him, because like he still feels guilty about killing his daughter, and so like he sees Ilya as his daughter. I know that part, but yeah, then that causes him to do the 12 labors, and then after the 12 labors, I forget who, but he falls in love again, and he's actually just having like I think like a peaceful life, but then I believe it's Hera that tricks his wife into saying like, hey, you should, if you dip this like cloak in this poison, it will give Hercules immortality or something like that, or imperviousness to damage or something. And then so she does that, and it's the poison of the Hydra. And then he dies. She puts it on him, and then he like practically melts or something. There's only one outcome: Tosaka's lifeless body being crushed to nothing. Surely Tosaka will die in this route. I run. I forget who I'm up against. I even forget where I am. My mind is completely burned out.
させるか
Saber cuts towards Berserker. Her invisible sword swings at Berserker's defenseless arm, as if slicing through a radish. But it's no use. Saber's attack pings harmlessly off of Berserker's arm. That's... thought it'd do some damage. His grip on Tosaka doesn't loosen. Just moving must be agony for Saber. She swings her sword desperately, blood trickling from her mouth.
シロ
She freezes the instant she sees me rushing at Berserker. Let's go of her, you bastard! I slap mindlessly at his back with my bow. I think I do suddenly get a flashback of Shiro doing this and thinking that he's the dumbest person who ever lived. Like, oh yeah, Saber's struggling. Let's just hit Hercules with a bow. That's a got him. And the giant is unfazed. He doesn't consider me a threat. My fingers are getting numb. So he's hitting him repeatedly. How is Tosaka not instantly crushed? Just like literally done. Like a second. What the hell is he? If I'm the one going numb from hitting him.
シロ
Eh? I look up when I hear Saber. Oops. In that instant, I go flying through the air like a leaf. Gah, I hit the ground and tumble like a bit of stray garbage. Berserker smacks me away with that frozen sword. Oh wow. Try to block the attack with my bow, but it shatters instantly and I'm thrown so far away. Gah. I writhe in pain. That breaking sound hadn't come from the bow. One of my arms is bent at the wrong angle, in the wrong spot. When I breathe in, my lungs hurt so bad I want to puke them up. I can't breathe properly with all the blood flooding my mouth. But that doesn't matter. Breathing will just make me pass out. Better that I not breathe. I wake up. Right now I need to get to him. Pin. I run. It's my turn. I'm going to break his arm and save Tosaka. He must have eyes in the back of his head. He swings his sword casually, like he's batting aside a fly. I can dodge it. I won't let an arm that's completely frozen hit me so easily. And then it hits me so easily. Damn, my body's sinking. He must have grazed my leg. Damn him. He didn't even touch my leg, but he somehow managed to break it anyway. This is just so pathetic. It's just like literally swatting away a fly.
バカな。もういい。離れなさい、マスター。
I can't do that. I can't let Tosaka die. What do I need to do to save her? A weapon, a blade would be best. At my fate, broken pieces of the bow. Above me, Berserker's sword swinging right at me. There's no time to think. I let magical energy flow through me. The strengthening succeeds easily, but down comes Berserker's sword. The fragments are finally pulverized. I meant to dodge, but instead my body slams to the ground. Wow, so this is a lot of hits. Jeez. Clearly there was no point strengthening broken shards. I'll have to do this from scratch. Okay. What? Yeah, why would you strengthen these shards? Okay. It shouldn't be impossible. Anyone can imitate as long as they have an example to follow. I just need to duplicate the foundation, structure, work, experience, time, and... The giant turns around. It must have decided to kill the little nuisance before finishing Tosaka off. I push up from the ground and glare at the giant. There's no fear. I'm too burned out for fear. But behind me... I see someone prepared to disappear. I see someone determined to use the sacred sword. That's kind of weird. It's just like, why even have this as an option? Don't use it. Like, surely... I feel like if you don't use it, like, what? Okay. Like, what's even the risk of, like, it's like saying fight, don't fight. Like, pretty sure we're supposed to fight here. The golden sword appears in Saber's hand. Berserker's grip on Tosaka tightens. I'm powerless. I'm going to let all three of us die. Is that really our only option? Is our only chance of victory using up the last of Saber's magical energy for a noble phantasm and so endangering her existence? The giant releases Tosaka and charges that saber. Rin got extremely lucky there that in the middle of all that stupidity, she didn't get crushed. Like, how the heck? Like, we cannot let her die at all. Like, okay. He meets the sacred sword as it sweeps the earth ahead of it. The silver armor collapses. Saber falls to her knees, having converted the last of her magical energy into light. In front of her, Berserker remains intact. Saber is starting to fade. She must not even have the strength to stand. Unable to rise, she looks up at Berserker. The giant sword swings down. Berserker doesn't wait for Saber to disappear. He crushes her. Saber! Saber disappears. I knew this would happen. If Saber used her sacred sword, she would disappear no matter the outcome of the battle. I knew it, but I didn't stop her. I can't even think. Saber's corpse is right in front of me. It's already become one with the earth. I can't escape. If I can't escape, no matter what I do, at least... A rush of wind obliterates everything below my waist. My senses are utterly overwhelmed with pain and despair. I'm fading in the middle of the tearing. Tosaka's body has sprawled on the ground, long since having gone motionless. Oh, so is that supposed to be that Tosaka was dead already? Wait, well, whatever. Like, wait, if she's already dead, though. If she's already motionless, then she was motionless before Saber used Excalibur.
些細な選択ミスで猫地獄にまっしぐらなあなたを救う修練場タイガー道場である
Cat hell.
あーっすまさに絶好調今ノリに乗ってる弟子1号です
キャットアウトヘ
なんでフルスイングするのよタイガー私なんか悪いことした
ブン黙らっしゃいタイガー道場も8回目ですが今までイリアちゃんがシロを殺めた数実に5回
5 times? I've lost track, to be fair. The first time is the first time they meet. Maybe the second time... Oh, wait, what was the second time? Yeah, the second time is when he goes to the park for the first time. Then the third time is in the room. And then this would be the fifth time. I think I'm missing one of the deaths.
大量殺人にも程があるでしょ実際
Mass murder.
こんなの可愛い方だよだって最終的に一番白を殺す回数が多いのは
テイネタバレ禁止権
Wait, who would be the one that kills Shiro the most?
当たらないようだ大体ねリストじゃ私は最下位なんだからほらちゃんと見なさいよこの手帳
How the heck would she be the person who kills him the least? That's crazy. Surely, I mean, Assassin doesn't kill Shiro. Surely, I don't think Assassin would fight him, just because Assassin like only would fight servants, really.
こんなキラーリストが出回ってたのねって本当だちょっと何よこの嘘記録
Okay, yeah, it's
なん
all
でイリア
lies.
ちゃんにいい子でしょうなんてついてるの
Also, I feel like Lancer is out of the story so much. There's no way that he's killed Shiro a significant amount of times, more than 4 times. Like, I mean, he's already killed him twice, but again, like, it's not like he shows up in the story again.
それは私の立ち回りが優雅だからよ暇な人は私が白をやっつけるエンドを残ら
If
ず
you're
チェック
bored,
してみて
go
ね
check out all the times he dies.
再殺賞さんなんかとは微妙に違うことに気がつくから
微妙な
The winner of the
違い
last kill award? What?
細かいことはどうでもいいか考えると疲れるしさて今回のタイガー道場ですが選択自体は間違えたものではないと思うけどどうしてこんな結果になっちゃったのよ弟子1号
純粋な魔力不足よ
Okay.
セイバーはエクスカリバーを使えるほどには回復したけどフォーグに注ぎ込むだけの魔力がなかったのね
Yeah, I was confused. So she's saying she didn't have enough to use her Noble Phantasm, but she did use it. I mean, she says that it was a low amount of magical energy, but I still kind of call bullshit to that because it's like she still used it. If she couldn't use, if you can use it, then she still said the name, and we saw her do the attack. So she used it. And even if it was like low power, it still is Excalibur. You know? Like it still is like, am I supposed to believe it was a below the strengths of Rin's gems? That seems hard to believe. Very hard to believe. Like, I mean, it's true magic, so it's definitely S rank automatically.
あんなへっぽこなエクスカリバーじゃバーサーカーの命に怪文も怪しいわ
No one Berserker's 2 lives? What? But he has 4. What? What do you mean 2?
なるほど。今回は懸命であったがゆえに負けてしまったと。
おし、受けに回っても死、攻めに回っても死の無情なタイトロープっす。
相変わらず微妙なバランスね。
微妙っていうか、キャラ性能的に積んでる感じね。
やるべそう。じゃ、今回の道場はここまで。直前の選択肢に戻って若さゆえに無謀あふれる選択肢を選んでみてね。
Okay. Okay, so so right here is the perfect moment to mention. So I've been looking up some stuff over here. And okay, so I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to really deep dive, but okay, so Ilya didn't kill any of the Einspurns. Although I thought that she like had a grudge against them, but I guess I thought that there was some dialogue that implied it, but I guess not, seemingly. Interestingly, there are many scenes that were added in the anime to show the grandfather, the oldest person in the Einspurn family. He basically wasn't even in Fate Stay Night at all, unless you watch the anime. Apparently he is shown briefly in Unlimited Blade Works, which is like, okay, that's pretty crazy. And of course he shows up in Fate Zero because he's a lot more of a character in that. It's funny because I always think of the guy. His name's like really long, but like he always sticks out to me. But I thought like, well, maybe she used Berserker to kill him. And maybe I'll have to deep dive, and like maybe there was just some weird dialogue where I kind of interpreted it that way, I guess. It is also weird because like I just looked up the Einspurn family, and you have Justice as being like the person who helped make the Holy Grail War from hundreds of years ago, and then Jubstockite or whatever, which is the old guy, and you have Ilya, and then you have Irisfeel, who is Ilya's mom, and then you have Sela and Lizrit. And that's mostly it. I mean, there are apparently Einspurn Castle tuners, but I think that they're just like really generic serving homunculus. So it's kind of weird. Like it seems like there's basically no real Einspurns. I mean, like I knew that they were all homunculuses, but I still thought that there were more named homunculuses. So that's pretty weird. And the old guy, I was just wondering, like, wait, how old is he? Okay, this is saying that the old guy is almost 200 years old. So he is somewhat comparable to Justice's old age. Although, yeah, then they even mentioned, yeah, there's a lot of unclearness with the Einspurns. Because, yeah, they're even mentioning in here in this Wikia that it's possible he resigned the position as the head of the Einspurn family. Because as we just read, Ilya claims that she's the head of the Einspurn. Which is weird, of course, because, like, Ilya is expected to die in this war, actually. So it's like, well, how does that work? You know? Like, wait, what? So I don't understand that one. And like, am I supposed to believe that the old man is is the only non-homunculus? Or I mean, I guess so. Well, no, wait a second. No, they do say that he's a golem or a slash magus. I guess he's a golem. That's what they call him. You know, golem is just a type of homunculus. But then that like makes me think like the Einspurns, I knew that they were a weird family, but like I still would have thought that there were more actual people. Since they're all creations, they just like have like 0 kids at all. Like you would think that there'd be like some, but I'm not seeing any indications. It's weird. Yes, I thought there was just lore that I didn't know about for the Ainsburns, but it's kind of the opposite. That like actually the lore is I actually know basically all the lore, and I'm just it's almost like I'm adding the lore unnecessarily or something. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, so okay, I guess don't use it. Wait 30 seconds and then use it, apparently, is the answer. Because they're like, we're gonna still use it, just wait to use it more opportunely. Wind peels back from the blade. The golden sword begins to reveal itself in Saber's hand. I told her not to use it. Sword I told her never to use, no matter what. I snap. The last thread that has been holding me together finally gives. Don't use it, Saber. And then he uses a command spell. My left hand burns. A command spell stroke disappears. Exactly. Which is really funny because it's like literally Rin is 2 seconds from death and he's like, no, don't do it. It's like, what? What the heck? I don't care. To hell with that. All I know is that if she uses it, she'll disappear. You're already on your last legs just from unleashing your sword. You can't use it right now. So just hold on. Rin is dead now, by the way. Rin is just dead now. So just hold on. If you can't use your sword, I'll make one you can use. Yeah. I was trying to like remember how this made sense in the anime, because I'm like, wait, so what was the logic that he creates a sword and then somehow using that sword will somehow be a better option? I don't understand that. Imagine something you can use to win. It's so obvious. It's the only thing I can do. I have to make it. I have to make something that won't lose. I have to imagine the strongest weapon. I have to imagine the ultimate imitation. It has to be to fool everyone, even me. But like, why does he have to make this if Saber already has her sword? It shouldn't be that hard. It's not something impossible. Since the beginning, my body has been a specialized magic circuit for this purpose alone. Up, I leap up. My entire body burns like it's on fire. My left hand is crimson. Oh my gosh. Saber's voice rings with shocked disbelief. She's staring at the weapon in my hand, at the thing that shouldn't exist. Oh, the sword seems to have a will of its own. Oh! The gold blade moves as if it's being drawn to the giant's arm. It slashes at him, tearing through the arm. I'm so confused why this couldn't have just been done by Saber, but okay. Is this just main character syndrome going on here? Tosaka falls to the ground along with the arm that had been holding her. The golden sword shatters as if it's been made of glass. Okay, shatters, weird. My blood begins to flow backwards. It doesn't matter. The sword broke. That's impossible. If I imitated that sword, it shouldn't have shattered like that. It shattered because it wasn't sufficient. My image of the sword wasn't enough. Berserker's furious gaze turns toward me. His massive sword swings up at me. This is confusing because it's like they're calling it a sword now, but before they called it an axe. What's going on here? Just say his weapon, you know? His massive weapon swings up at me. This time he's determined to cut me in half. It doesn't matter. Berserker, you're not my enemy right now. I'm only fighting against one person right now. The last one wasn't perfect. My image of it was flawed, so the sword that should have been invincible broke. If I'm to duplicate things, I need to work on not just their shape, but also their maker. I hear the others holding their breath. In front of me, I see the axe sword. Axe. Now it's an axe sword. Okay, cool. Freaking shit. Rushing toward me like an oncoming storm in a half-formed sword ready to block it. In desperation, I tried to use the sword to block the incoming blade, but that doesn't matter to me. Right now, I need to finish this blade to make it real. Another mistake. You're not fit for fighting Shiro, Emiya. Your battle is supposed to be a mental one, a fight against your own self. You don't have to remind me. What I need to do is simple. Projection, start. I concentrate on challenging my own self. There can be neither deviation nor compromise. Determining creation ideology, anticipating base essence. So is this like what he's thinking in his mind, or is this the omniscient narrator saying this? Duplicating material structure, replicating the forger's skill, resonating with the possessor's experience, imitating the uncountable years, and surpassing every manufacturing process. By the way, how would you imitate uncountable years of this, using this sword when you know nothing about it ever being swung? Yeah! Or it's more like, yeah! So they're Japanese. Illusion shall bind with reality to forge a sword. The giant roars. The sword deflects the countless gusts assailing me from the enemy's furious attacks. So how is Shiro strong enough, physically strong enough, to block these attacks? Okay. But that's about it. I'm knocked away from him. The moment I come to, the sword leaves everything to me. The attacks I blocked so easily a moment ago now toss me around effortlessly. I can't feel my arms. The skin of my wrists is blistered and red. I'm surprised I can even keep my grip on the sword. My legs do not work. I can only imagine every muscle is shredded to ribbons. Can't get up. I made a sword that surpasses Berserker. But that's all. I'm just the one who made it. I can't wield the sword I worked so hard to make. A shadow looms over me. He must know who he has to kill first now. I rush away and Berserker rushes after me like a gust of wind. I actually thought that Saber should be the one that he should kill first, but okay, sure. His enormous sword swings toward me, but is deflected. In complete disbelief, I realize another hand has closed around my own. I remember this part. The air splits around me. The giant attacks with all his might, trying to destroy everything around him. But right before that happens... Shiro, your hand! She's so close. I can hear her voice over the den. Oh, damn. If Berserker is a storm front coming to attack me, Saber is a gale rushing to my side. Saber sprints over to me and twists around, gripping me firmly. The rock sword shatters. The golden flash explodes through the giant's axe sword and continues ahead, slicing through Berserker's rock-like body without slowing. So wait, did they even use Excalibur? Maybe I copied the form so well that I copied some of its abilities too. The golden sword lodges deep in Berserker's body and glows so brilliantly that light pours from the giant's body. And then, in an instant, the light fades and the forest falls silent. All the strength flees my limbs. The heat that had been surging through me rapidly cools. The sword I made begins to disappear. I watch it vacantly. Saber and I remain together, holding the sword in our hand until it's disappeared completely. Wind sweeps through the clearing. The earth shaking howl and the blade that had been churning up the very air are gone. The previously invincible giant, now immobile, looks to the knight who defeated him and speaks in a low, rumbling voice. And that voice just feels very, very wrong, but okay. He's just like, so is that your blade, Saber? I feel like it should be more booming, like, so that is your blade, Saber. Like, that feels more deep, guttural. Yeah, like rather than, so that is your blade saber. Like for a second, I actually thought that was Archer. Like it sounded like a little deeper than Archer, but basically Archer's voice.
これはカリバーン。王を選定する岩の剣。永遠に失われた私の剣。ですが、
今のは貴様の剣ではなかろう。それはその男が作り上げた幻想に過ぎ。
I'm gonna have to look into this. I don't think that this dialogue was in the original anime at all. Saber nods quietly.
まがいもの。二度とは存在せぬ剣だ。だが、しかし。
But why is Caliburn a blade that will never exist again? Why is Caliburn so special? But meanwhile, we have Excalibur, which you'd think is more powerful, so I'm a little confused. Berserker's chest opens up. He begins to dissolve. His body begins to crumble like wet sand, beginning where the sword pierced him and rapidly expanding outwards. Okay, so this is where, because I was wondering, because I've heard about, I always hear about how this blow kills him multiple times. I actually thought it killed him 4 times, but yeah, here he's saying it killed him 7 times from the one blow, which I don't understand. That doesn't make sense at all. The dying words are spoken without emotion. Also, I wish right now we were actually getting like the dissolve animation that is probably like the most famous part of Fate, I feel like. The mad warrior keeps to his role until his very end, except that he just talked, but okay, and fades away in a dispersing haze into the misty morning air. Yeah, see, why do this transition instead of actually doing like gold? Like if that transition was gold instead of the typical black transition, then that would have been perfect. You know, at least a lot better. Dizziness rocks me where I stand. This is probably the price for such excessive use of magecraft. The blood that rages through me is putting pressure on my brain, sending far too much oxygen out to the rest of my body. My head feels like it could split open. The enemy has disappeared, and whatever was numbing the pain earlier has faded. As if to make me pay the accumulated toll of this incredible battle, the dizziness and headache crash into me like twin meteors. I'm about to collapse, but Saber supports me. Saber shouldn't have the energy for that either at this point. No, I'm fine. I've got a few broken bones, but nothing fatal. I've got that healing thing, and it's already kicking in, so I'll be fine. But there's someone I have to talk to first. Saber stands ready. Ilya stares at where Berserker had been standing, her eyes hollow. No, Saber, don't hit Ilya. What's up, Berserker? She's... what? She literally could kill both of you right now, but okay, whatever, sure. I stopped the Saber with the last remaining strengths I have. Ilya doesn't even seem to notice we're here. She just stares at the ground. She sounds like an abandoned child. Ilya. Ilya lifts her head absent-mindedly. It happens suddenly. Ilya collapses like a puppet with its strings cut. That was weird. What? I don't know what happened. I just stare at Ilya where she lies. I guess like she's like mentally just shattered or whatever. And at almost the same moment, Tosaka raises her hand. She's freed now that Berserker's arms disappeared. Oh, right. I guess she was technically still being crushed a little. I must have loosened up the moment I learned Tosaka was safe. My vision blurs and I can feel my body trying to pass out. I can't show that kind of weakness. We may have defeated Berserker, but we're still in the forest. Weary as we are, we have to force ourselves to get out of the forest. I look up at the sky as it begins to lighten. The town is a long way away. All my allies are wounded and every single inch of me hurts. And yet morning has come. We survived a night I was prepared not to. After feeding our greatest enemy, we leave the winter forest. By the way, if this was a correct story, Sella and Lesret would have came and killed them all. They're not as strong as a servant, but I can tell you they're pretty capable. So like, okay then, sure. I'll look at this later. What? Fate 12 interval level 4. What? Interval level 4? What the heck? Wait, let me look at this. So we got day 12. Getting up, morning, King's Memories. Oh, okay. Silly Saber. The sky was still pale gray. Okay. Oh, this music. Oh, I like this song a lot. I still can't believe this song is in this game, since like I always associate it with Fate Grand Order so much. Oh yeah, let me see. Okay, all attacks rank B or lower are, so that's funny. They were like, oh well, he's not immune to magical attacks, but all attacks rank B or lower can't hurt him. So okay. But don't worry, the gem attack was totally level, rank A, I guess. Yeah, I'm so confused that the Noble Phantasm rank here is C instead of an A. Or EX now. I mean, before the magic circuit transfer, okay, but like now, like, huh? Wait, yeah, weapon? Surely no. Wow. Okay, maybe not yet. I don't know. That's weird. The sky was still pale gray. Was it dawn or dusk? It's hard to tell. The vast sky overhead and a wide field stretching out on all sides. The sky seemed close enough to touch. Clouds low enough to grab hold of. This was one of the battlefields she fought on. But there was no longer any cavalry in her service. The sprawling gold meadow was gone, instead unfolding under the dull sky. Oh, finally we got this part, yeah. Was the remnant of a battlefield. No emotion. She must have seen this kind of thing almost daily. Her desolate heart was empty. She leaned against a golden sword. She exhaled deeply and let her shoulders relax. The battle must have ended. After glancing over the bodies of the defeated soldiers, she returned to her camp. Those were the battles she experienced. Her cold, calm demeanor remained unchanged. No matter the predicament she's been in, she remained just like the woman I've always known. And then I see the dream of a king. The moment she drew the sword, she stopped being human. She took over for her father as a feudal lord. This is so Japanese. And became a king with many knights. Okay, I guess, okay. Technically when she took over for her father, she was a feudal lord, I suppose. Because she was a lord who was feuding with other lords. Because because at that point she had to unite Britain, and once she united Britain, then she was a king. Okay, yeah, I guess that is true. It's weird to think of Britain as being having feudal lords. But yeah, I guess at that point, you know, when it's early on, that makes sense. But it's weird because in Japan, you had feudal lords while there was an emperor, before the war and after the war. It just made no sense. She was known as King Arthur, and Artoria, the life of the girl who once aspired to be a knight, changed so radically. She acted like she was the king. She acted like she was the king's son. Okay, right. The ruler of territories and knights had to be male. Only her father and the mage knew the king was female. She covered herself in iron and hid that truth for the rest of her life. I mean, you probably could have cut your hair a lot shorter, but okay. There were those who had their suspicions, but the king of knights who wielded the sacred sword knew neither injury nor age. Excalibur was blessed with the protection of the fairies, making its possessor immortal. As such, nobody questioned her tiny frame, which was much too small for a knight, or her face, which may have appeared girlish. Instead, she was hailed as a truly beautiful king. And in fact, the king was invincible. Neither size nor appearance mattered. Those who lived in fear of the savage invaders desired a strong king. They don't say who the invaders were. And the valiant knight would follow only a truly superior leader. The king satisfied each of these conditions, and so nobody questioned the king's identity. It did not matter if the king was a child or a woman. All that mattered was that the king protected the nation. But wait, if it didn't matter that the king was a woman, why didn't they just say that she was a woman? Huh? Wait a second. The new king was fair and selfless, and always stood on the front line, fighting and defeating the nation's enemies on the battlefield. Many enemies and citizens died, but the king was always just, and she played her role as king better than anyone else. There was no room to suspect otherwise, and any such suspicions would be pointless while the king was right in any case. She knew no defeat on the battlefield. Her army reformed the lost cavalry, then charged across the battlefield, defeating foreign infantry and smashing through their defenses. Foreign infantry? I think we're talking about the Picts, by the way. I believe we're talking about like Scotland and or Ireland, I believe. But I could be wrong, but I think so. But it's just weird, because like foreign infantry, would there really be that much infantry that's foreign? Yeah, that'd be like a lot of effort to have to bring infantry over the sea. Did she always stand on the front lines because her nation was behind her? Before she headed out to battle, she had to cast aside so many citizens. Once she was on the battlefield, she had to cut down all her enemies. As for her battles were fought in defense of her nation, it was common to wring villages dry to support the army. In that sense, no knight killed as many as she did. I can't tell if she ever really felt that burden. It's not something I can really know from a dream, but I do know she didn't have a moment's doubt or hesitation on the battlefield. Grief never touched her thoughts when she sat on the throne. A king is not human. See, I feel like they're... So, okay, I just want to throw out there. So Tsukihime got a remake, and that's why it was kind of a big deal that this didn't get like an actual real remake. I'm imagining if they actually remade this, we could actually see her being a king, because these pictures are pictures I've already seen in the anime, and I always felt like it was very odd that all we see are these vast fields, these vast empty British fields, but she's a king. And it's like, shouldn't we be seeing the round table? Like, what the heck? You know, like, shouldn't we see her at least bare minimum on a throne? It's so bizarre. And like, it's not even, I mean, they even said that she'd only been in 12 battles. Like, she was only in 12 battles, but she never lost. But it's like, okay, you've been in 12 battles. You're not really a warrior king. Like, good job. But still, 12 battles is really low for somebody that would be considered a warrior king. Human emotions would make it impossible to protect people. Also, it's 12 battles over the course of at least 10 years, maybe 15 or something like that. So that's even weirder. She kept to her oath, never wavering. She addressed the issues facing her nation, and she worked on matters of political concern. She ruled without wavering, and she punished the deserving without error. Really? Without error? This is just fact? Okay. And after winning so many battles, unifying so many clans, and punishing hundreds of criminals, King Arthur doesn't have a heart. One of the knights in her entourage murmured this. We can't say the name, though. So I will. It was apparently Tristan. I don't know why they couldn't actually state Tristan and her entourage. Wait, entourage? Why are we saying entourage? Say Tristan from the round table murmured this. Why would you not specify people? Like, it's so weird. Everyone must have felt the same way. Wait, everyone must have what? Why? Why did everyone must have felt the same way? What do you mean? The more perfectly she carried herself as king, the more everyone questioned their monarch. I mean, I guess this is just supposed to be her inner doubts, I guess. But still, it's too silly. It's like, everybody doesn't trust me, and it's like, it was literally one guy. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't think Lancelot or Gawain ever had those thoughts. There's no way someone devoid of human emotion can rule humans. Several reputable knights left the White Castle of Camelot. I wish I knew who, but yeah. But the king accepted this as inevitable and incorporated it into her rule. And so the fair king, once so admired by her knights, began to isolate herself. Such trivialities were of no concern to the king. Even if she was deserted, feared, or betrayed, her heart would remain unchanged. It couldn't be helped. The moment she took that sword, she abandoned her emotions. And then her final battle began. The battle at... what? Baden Hill. Not Camlin? Okay, we'll see. Ended in a complete victory. And that... okay, I see. The battle at Baden Hill ended in a complete victory, and that inescapable conclusion led to the savage clans finally offering peace. This isn't the order of events, though. Because she would have beaten her enemies and united everybody. Then there would have been a period of peace. Then the knights start leaving. But whatever. And so the nation that had been holding its breath, waiting to be destroyed, knew a moment of peace. The age of warfare where a nation leaned on a singular hero came to an end. Singular hero? Oh, okay. Britain was finally going to become the nation she'd always dreamed of. The scene starts to drift away. I realize the dream is ending and I'm about to wake up. I can feel myself drifting closer to wakefulness. But before that happens, something really pisses me off. She's stupid. Oh, she's strong and a gifted fighter. But there's a difference between being good at fighting and being cut out for it. The people around her piss me off too. If she didn't notice it, someone else around her should have told her. Or she would go on making the same mistake forever. Seriously, how the hell did she have so many people around her and not one told her the truth? I mean, what about Bedivere? I'm pretty sure Bedivere did, but okay. Okay. We'll learn about Bedivere later, I believe, but I don't know. I wake up. We escaped Ilia's forest and returned home yesterday afternoon. Wait, so then are we on the 13th day or not? We should be on the 13th day, right? Because we were already on the 12th day. Okay, Tosaka went back to her room, complaining that her stomach hurt, and my headache wasn't getting any better, so we all decided to just go to sleep. It must have been the extra weight I was lugging around. As soon as I got into bed, I couldn't get back up. Saber was the only one who seemed fine. And Tosaka and I left her to guard the house while we slept. And then... so I slept for half a day. At least my headache's gone. I'm relieved. The whole thing was Berserker. The headache I got after copying Saber's sword was unreal. If it had kept up, my head might have just split down the middle. Then I notice... huh? Saber is sitting on the floor right next to my head. Saber, why are you glaring at me like that first thing in the morning? Did something happen while I was asleep? Huh?
いえ、何でもありません。それより朝食にしましょう、シロ。もう起きる時間です。
Saber gets up and heads silently out of the room. What was that about? I don't know why Saber is acting strange. I'm really not sure, but if she was sitting by my bedside the whole time, was she nursing me back to health? The moment I have that thought, the scene from last night comes back to me. What the hell am I thinking? Shake my head to rid myself of those impure thoughts. That night, my contact with Saber was entirely about my duty as a master. Now that would be really funny to think about if he was having sex with her and says that. Like, it was all business. If I don't rationalize it like that, I'll never be able to look at Saber again. Calm thoughts, calm thoughts. We acted normal when we were coming home yesterday. That's all I need to do. No, I was actually just tired yesterday, but I still need to act normal. Besides, Saber wouldn't like me acting like this. Okay, I just need to calm down and make breakfast. Take a deep breath and get changed. 9 in the morning. Wait, 9 in the morning. Oh my gosh, I'm losing track. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going crazy. Let me look at this. I could have sworn it just said something different. Okay, wake up. We escaped the forest and returned home yesterday afternoon. So I slept for half a day. Okay. So they fought like at 8 or 9 and then came back around 3 or 4 and then slept for half a day, which is supposed to be until now, which is like at 8 a.m. I mean, it's 9 even, actually. He says half a day, but like it was more than half a day. He didn't sleep from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. It was more like 4 or 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. That's like, you know, like what? I know this is minor, but like, you know, it's a difference. Saber hasn't eaten since lunch yesterday, so she must be hungry. I don't even know what this is. Are they implying she ate lunch when they came home? The timing on these days is getting very confusing. I don't even remember what day of the week it is. I wish they would tell you that. 9 is so late, it's practically not even morning anymore. What? Insane. Freaking insane. It's morning until 11 a.m., man. As hungry at least 11. As hungry as Saber must be. I should probably make a hearty breakfast.
シロ、今朝は私とあなただけですが、リンを起こさなくていいのですか?
No, everyone's still asleep. Considering what happened yesterday, it's probably best to let them sleep. What do you mean everyone? It's just her. It's just Saber, Shiro, and Rin. Everyone. I'll leave there. Who's there? Who are we talking about? I'll leave their food out and they can eat whenever they like. Who are we talking about right now? Oh, right, Ilya. Right. I don't think they've actually said this.
そうですか。それでは早めに支度をしてもらえると助かります。もうこんな時間になってしまいましたから。
I know. I feel better now, so let's head to the dojo once we finish eating.
道場に行くとは、まだ私と剣の鍛錬を続けるのですか?
Why not? It's our daily routine. What's wrong, Saber? Did I say something weird?
いえ、もう鍛錬はしないのだろうと勝手に思い込んでいました。バーサーカーが倒れた今、シローがそこまで必死になる理由はなくなったのではないかと。
I see. You know, you may be right. The common enemy we all shared, Berserker, is gone now. We teamed up to take on an enemy far stronger than us, and that's also why I trained so furiously in such a short period of time. But I'd like to keep training. I'm still an untrained mage, and I get to see the real you when you wield a sword. That makes it easier for me to talk to you, too. Well, I say easy, but what I mean is that I kind of enjoy it.
はあ、道場での私は本音を出しているのでしょうか?
You sure do. At least you don't hold back. I prefer it that way. Besides, I think you get to loosen up as well. Anyway, our routine has... The cat's acting up a little bit. Anyway, our routine has been us sparring in the mornings. Don't take the few pleasures I have. I take the ground beef, pork, green onions, mushrooms, onions, eggs out of the refrigerator and head to the kitchen. All I need is panko, sake, and cooking oil. Well then, I have no objections.
そういうことでしたら、私も反論はありませんが。
Huh? Saber mumbles quietly to herself in the living room while I work. Can't quite hear what she's saying from the kitchen. Smack, smack, pound, pound. I mix everything up. Decided to be bold today, so I make stewed Japanese Hamburg steak for breakfast.
目が覚めたのですか?
Hamburg steak that has vegetables inside of it? Okay, I guess. Rin, are you awake? Saber's voice drifts out from the living room. Tosaka? I glance back over my shoulder as I cook.
おはよう。ごめん、牛乳飲ませて、シロ。
Tosaka comes in looking grumpy, grabs a carton of milk from the fridge.
寝すぎて頭痛い。あれ？何？朝から凝ってるじゃない。
Slept too much? Like, they walked for like 5 hours. Had a huge battle. And now she's like, oh, I slept too much. You know, that's not the type of thing that you should be sleeping more than 12 hours for. Like, freaking stupid. Ham can be okay at times. If you're in the mood, yeah. Where'd that grumpy face she'd been making a second ago go? Her eyes are practically sparkling now.
へえ、美味しそう。ちょうどお腹も減ってたし、助かったわ。
Is that so? Well, she's the one who gets to enjoy herself here, not me. Reminds me of what my old man used to say. Someone gains, someone else loses. I've thought this before, but you've got a king eye.
あら、人並みに目端が利くだけよ。それじゃあ、私の分もよろしくね。
She waves as she heads back to the living room. With a glass of milk in one hand, Tosaka plops down at the table. Seriously, I don't know where she gets off acting like king of the castle here in my house.
だらけていますね、リン。
Yeah, way to go, Saber. She's saying everything I wish I could. However, Tosaka dismisses Saber's criticism nonchalantly by just agreeing with her.
そりゃだらけもするわよ。バーサーカーがいなくなった今、あとはキャスターとランサーとアサシンでしょ。バーサーカーに比べたら大した敵じゃないし、今のセーバーなら余裕で撃退できるじゃない。それはわかりません。ランサーもアサシンも一筋縄で行く相手ではない。
Yeah, Lancer's actually a huge deal. Lancer's faster. Speed is a bigger deal than strength, technically. Yeah, she's being pretty nonchalant about losing Archer. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
キャスターに至ってはまだ出会ってもいないではないですか。謙遜謙遜。アーサー王の手にかかっちゃそんじょそこらの英霊なんて10羽一からげでしょ。今までは魔力不足で嘆いてたけどそれも解決したし、今のセイバーに対抗できるサーバントなんて一人もいないわ。
Saber narrows her eyes at Tosaka. I have the same reaction. We shouldn't let what Tosaka said there just go by. Tosaka, do you know who Saber is? She literally just said.
確信が持てたのは昨日よ。あれだけの聖剣を扱える英雄なんて一人しかいないもの。
That's actually not true, but okay, whatever. Like, there's actually many Saber knights who have wielded sacred swords.
まあ、伝説のアーサー王が女の子っていうのには驚いたけど、目の前にいるんじゃ信じるしかないじゃない。それに、 伝説なんて都合よく改ざんされたものでしょ。セイバーが隠したのか周囲が隠したのか知らないけど、確かに中世の王様が女の子ってのは都合が悪いものね。そりゃ誰が何と言おうと男として扱うわよ。
Not the so even in this game they said that this was during the Dark Ages, but then here she is saying in medieval times. It's like, okay, all right. Tosaka's tone remains the same. Saber at least doesn't seem to mind. If anything, she seems to agree with Tosaka. She certainly doesn't seem about to argue. She's basically acknowledged the fact a hero with a connection to the sword is selected to be the saber servant. Based on that alone, she would absolutely make for the best saber. The heroic symbol of Britain, the wielder of a sacred sword, so famous she's even known in this faraway land. I don't want to even think about unreliable narrators, honestly. This series gets weirder and weirder because over time you have to start believing whatever the narrator says is absolute fact. Because if you don't, it gets really annoying. Because I never believe in narrators, ever. In fact, I prefer to ignore narrators if possible. And the Fate franchise will not explain anything a lot of times unless you listen to the narrator. The narrator's like, maybe this is what happened. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, Shiro doesn't know anything about history. But also, we didn't hear a lot about the timeline of King Arthur's life in the series for like a really long time. And even now, I think there's still like a lot of details that aren't actually confirmed. There's just more stuff that you can guess is probably true. Yeah, Rin does like just guess quite a lot. Well, it's like the thing where like she's like Saber is the strongest class, and it's like, well, isn't the heroic spirit more important than the actual class? And I mean, you know, I guess you could be like, generally Sabers are the strongest class, but I don't know. I wish that we had more examples in this. It's always gets weird in this in this specific adaptation, because in Fate Stay Night, you're like, you hear this is a strong servant or this is a weak servant, and then later on in the series you hear about more servants, and it's like, actually all the servants in Fate Stay Night are some of the strongest servants, actually. So it's like really confusing. Like one of the strongest casters, one of the strongest berserkers, probably the strongest saber, one of the strongest archers, among one of the strongest lancers. Rider's complicated. Maybe the strongest rider though. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of have to wonder. Yeah. I mean, maybe her father, it was just like, Saber is the strongest class. And you know, he says it like it's a fact. But then, wait, that's stupid. Wait, so Tosaka says that Saber was the strongest class, right? But then he summons Archer in Fate Zero? Like, wait, what's going on here? Because he could have summoned the Saber if he wanted to, but he specifically summoned Archer. So, you know, I guess in that situation, he was like, well, no, actually, no, I don't remember if he wanted Archer. I mean, we know that he wanted that guy, but we don't know if actually maybe he was going for the Saber version of that guy. But then what of it? The legend of King Arthur ends with the king's death. Even heroes are still human. Their stories usually end in deaths, but no hero dies of proper deaths. What? I don't know about that. King Arthur was no exception. If I remember correctly, King Arthur died in battle at the Battle of Camlan after unifying Britain and supposedly having no more foreign enemies. To defeat, King Arthur was drawn into conflict with an unexpected enemy in the end. It was the treachery of her own army, that knights she vowed to protect and fought alongside for so long, that led to King Arthur's death. But this is actually proven incorrect, I believe, because I believe it's confirmed that Mordred actually gathered external enemies. Wait, was it? Wait, or were they all internal enemies? Now I don't know. Maybe that wasn't confirmed. No, maybe they were jealous internal enemies. King Arthur defeated the army's leader, but took a fatal wound in the battle, so entrusted her only surviving knight, Bedivere, with the task of returning the sacred sword to where it belonged. Yeah, exactly. I'm ignoring. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the biggest spoilers. Well, Lost Belt 6 and 7 are complicated. I would say Lost Belt 6 and 7 have only maybe 5% of true history involved in their stories, so don't worry. I don't think you're going to get any major run into any random spoilers. I would say. Yeah, the singularities actually, like, looking back, I think the singularities were a better idea in general. Lost Belts are really good, but like generally the stories that they chose to tell were kind of odd. Like I'd say Lost Belt 1 could have been way better. Lost Belt 2 could have been way better. Lost Belt 3 and 4 were half-baked. Lost Belt 5 is great. I don't like Lost Belt 6, even though everybody likes it. I think Lost Belt 6 is missing quite a lot of intrigue. And then Lost Belt 7 has a lot of intrigue and a lot of lore. A lot of really crazy stuff. Yeah. Singularity-wise, I mean, it's already known. Like, yeah, Singularity 1 through 5 aren't necessarily that good. I'd say 1 is actually pretty decent. I think Singularity 1 might be like a 7, at least a 7 out of 10 for me, actually. Looking back, it's actually like surprisingly good to think back on, even if it is very simple. But then, yeah, Singularity 2 is bland and actually just bad. And then 3 is... it's pretty basic, honestly. Singularity 3 is like basically just like a normal event nowadays. Event story. And then Singularity 4 was, I think, just really, really bad in London. And then Singularity 5 was United States is pretty bad. I really, truly wonder what they were thinking with that. Like, they made it so that it was a robot army led by Edison versus the Irish. Like, what, fighting in the United States. Like, what possible, who thought of this idea? Like, it's completely bizarre. Like, they could have had Indians fighting. Imagine that, the Native Americans, they could have had as many honestly, as many American servants as they possibly could imagine. Obviously presidents would have been a nice idea. Maybe even British. We could have had like a recreation of the British Revolution where the revolution just never ended or something like that, and then you just have a whole bunch of British servants, just as many as possible. Because like in the Singularities, like anybody could be evil technically. Yeah, I still think that the United States presidents should be able to be summonable, though. I mean, I believe that there are servants. Let's see. Sherlock Holmes is from like 1890s. So logically, anybody before 1890, any famous president before 1890 should be summonable. It's not like Sherlock Holmes was known as a fighter. So, like, why couldn't you do the same thing with all the presidents? I mean, I know that partly it's because Sherlock Holmes is kind of a fairy tale. It's like, it's a little weird, but it's kind of because he's, like, based on his book form to some extent. But still, like, you could say the same about some U.S. presidents. There are like minor legends about U.S. presidents that you could do, or you could even do something where like Edison. Okay, you do Edison, fine, but then Edison should have like multiple form changes where he could like embody the presidents specifically. That's true. Oh, that's true. That's the other thing that I forget about. Yeah, of course you can tell the difference in Lost Belt 6 and 7. But the thing I forgot about is I think if you look at the timeline of when everything came out, so I started playing Fate Grand Order at the 1-year anniversary, and they were doing banners for Singularity 6 at the time. So then that means that they, within the first year, they did Singularity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first 6 months of stories were already made when the game began. They couldn't like change their ideas. So yeah, they probably already had definitely Singularity 1 through 4. And then I assume like Singularity 5 probably took a bit longer because they did the New Year event, and then they'd have to do Valentine's, and then I know that the first year they did Dante's event and Saber Wars 1 with Mysterious Heroine X, and they did Fate Zero. This was all in like March, April, May of the first year for North America, because they started in early July, and then a whole bunch of stories I think for the first 6 months, and then a whole bunch of side stories, at least that many. Which I mean, the Fate Zero event was super big that first year, and then they get around to I don't know where or when they did Singularity 5 and 6, but that was somewhere in the later half of the next year. But yeah, they did have a bit more time doing Singularity 5 and 6. 5 might have been already pre-planned though. I'm gonna have to actually look that up. Like, I don't know when the game was first released how many Singularities had come out at release. Was it only Singularity 1? I wouldn't be surprised if Singularity 1 and 2 were out at release. I mean, Singularity 2 is so basic. Well, see, I think Singularity 1's really good because they go back, in later events, they go back and make Gene alter better and better by having a bit more depths. But I like it because it shows you a side of Fate that you wouldn't think about, and it introduces a lot of servants that a lot of people had never heard about, because it was basically like say Gene Alter gathering an army of, I forget how many servants it was, but like 4 or 5 servants to take over France. Like, that sounds really cool, and it sounds way more interesting than most of the other Singularities, even if it is like really basic. But then the problem ends up being that they're like, oh no, these servants are so powerful, and then you kind of just beat them real easily for the most part. Like, I think I only vaguely remember the fight against Vlad the Impaler Berserker. I think I only remember that one being like pretty formidable. The rest of them, I think I don't even remember them. Like, was Astolfo there? I don't even remember. Oh, Camilla was there, but Camilla was like a joke, like, because she was so easy to beat. Yeah, and then you eventually get to Gene. It's kind of weird to like think about. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and like check like how many chapters were even in that story. But yeah, I mean, Jean gets better over time. Like, I to be fair, in that story, she was just out for revenge, but that's still like better motivation than a lot of characters get later on in Fate. Later on, a lot of the characters that you're like, oh, you're doing it for revenge, right? And then they're like, no, I'm not doing it for revenge. I'm doing it because it's the logical thing to do, because humanity is probably fundamentally evil. And I'm like, I wish you told me it was revenge. I think revenge is a lot more interesting, buddy. Okay, travel across this bloody battlefield and over the hill. You will find a deep lake. Throw this sword into that lake. But Bedivere did not fulfill that final duty. Fearing the implications of losing the sword, Bedivere falsely reported not once, but twice that he had thrown it into the lake. Each time, King Arthur once more ordered Bedivere to throw the sword away. Finally, on his third attempt, Bedivere was able to bring his king's final wishes. Fulfill his king's final wishes. It is said that King Arthur died after making certain the sword had been returned.
それよりシロ、あんたこれからどうする気よ。
Tosaka suddenly turns to glare at me. What do you mean, plan to do?
だから和室で寝てる物騒な子供のことよ。放っておけって言ったのに、ここまで連れてきたのはあんたじゃない。
それについては私も言いたい。バーサーカーを失ったとはいえ、イリアスフィールは危険なマスターだ。それを保護するなど、シロはどうかしています。
そうそう。あんなのは綺麗に預けちまえばいいのよ。
Actually, that is true. That is weird. Wait, what's his excuse? The two glare at me at once. That's right. The moment Berserker disappeared, Elia fainted. She showed no signs of waking up, and I couldn't just leave her, so I brought her back home. Of course, Tosaka and Saber objected, so I carried her myself. A master who loses their servant either flees before another master kills them, or is protected by the church. Tosaka says we should let Kodamine take care of her, but I don't think that priest would take very good care of Ilya, so I'm having her stay in one of our spare rooms. What a random thing to believe. Like, it ends up being the correct decision, sure, but like, what is he even going to bother explaining why he believes this? Like, probably not.
シロ、あなたの考えは立派ですが、イリアスフィールに関わるのは危険です。今ならまだ間に合う。早々に教会に預けるか、その令状を剥奪するべきだ。
That is true. They should just take the command spells straight up. Maybe they do. Like, they straight up should definitely take them. Yeah, Hero Justice saves everybody. Except, well, you didn't save Hercules. Guess you're not a very good hero of justice after all. Saber's serious. Changing her mind won't be easy. Do you have a problem? We couldn't just leave her alone. Ellie's just a kid, and she wasn't herself. I'd feel bad leaving her with Kodamine.
かわいそう。あんたね、あの子にあんな目に遭わされて、まだそんな寝ぼけたこと言うわけ？
同感です。シロはイリアスフィールに感情移入しすぎています。彼女は何度もシロを殺そうとしたではないですか。
The two are more united than ever. But I need to stand my ground. Lily was our enemy, but she never had any malice for us. That's a lie. As long as she has a good influence, she won't do any more harm. And I said this at the start. I'm not fighting to kill masters, I'm fighting to end the battle.
それは分かってはいますが。
Saber's tone softens, though she's clearly not convinced. But
そう。それじゃあイリアスフィールのしたことを全部許すっていうの？言っとくけど、あの子は私たち以外のマスターも襲っている。もしかしたらもう何人かマスターを殺しているかもしれない。それでもあなたは助けてやるっていうのね。
it's kind of weird that she says this, since we know she killed Shiro. But she didn't attack any other master. So I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, what? Unless she means herself and Shiro. Yeah. Well, yeah. Are we like, yeah, we know she, yeah, Shinji. Oh, admitted she killed Shinji after I let her go. Shinji used Ryder to kill everyone, to try to kill everyone at school. If that's what he did as a master, I suppose his death was inevitable? Oh, look, he's not being a very good hero of justice anymore now, is he? Oh, okay. But Shinji was a friend of mine for years, and thinking of Sakura, I can't just write off what Elia did. But you kind of are right now, but okay. But that means there's no chance at closure. Even if Ilya is no longer a master, as long as she can reflect and feel remorse, I think we should save her.
そうね。それは正しい。
So he says this, but he's against bringing Ilya to the church. Like Shiro. So this is really, really funny. Because Shiro sure has a lot of Christian values. And then you have Saber here, who is all about Christian values. Or maybe specifically Catholic, maybe even. And then you have Rin here. I mean, yeah, she doesn't care about religion, but it's also funny because she's got a cross on her chest. But that doesn't matter, right? Surely that doesn't mean anything. But you would think, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of funny how there is definitely some clear church leanings in the story, but they don't trust the church. but they don't trust Kodamine. Oh, okay.
けどシロ、私はアーチャーのことを帳消しにする気はないの。私のアーチャーは
Killed
あ
my
いつに
archer.
殺されたんだから。
Mine. Archer. We're at an impasse here. We all freeze, staring at each other. But then Ilya shows
何
up.
よ。サーバントなんて最後にはみんな消えちゃうじゃない。そんなこと気にしてるなんて。マスター失格ね、リン。
The very girl under discussion appears.
イリアスフィール。
待ちなさい。あなたたちに用はないわ。戦う気もないから、そんなに切り立たないでくれない？ほんと、同じレディーとして恥ずかしいわ。私よりずっと年上なのに、たしなみってものがないんだから。
Oh, I'm getting tired of this. Wait a second. Because Ilya's 18, right? I always knew she was 18. Yes, she's 18. Yeah. She's older than them. Okay. I'm not crazy. Well, wait, or am I crazy? Wait a second. Let me go check. Surely Rin isn't 18. I actually don't know how old they are. I'm assuming Shiro and Rin are 16. For Rin. Wait, what? Oh, wait, never mind. I'm not even going to go into it. Gets more complicated later on, but don't worry about that. Okay, 17, yeah. Okay, so, okay, that's pretty crazy. She's only 1 year older than that. Ilya shrugs, looking disgusted. Wait, does she also say that Saber's older than her? Yeah. I mean, it's technically true, but also complicated. But yeah, sure. I mean, Saber technically is probably like 30, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they ever really truly addressed that part. Saber and Tosaka are once again in sync. A whole new kind of intensity comes over them.
まあ、それも怒らないであげる。今はあなたたちに構ってる場合じゃないもの。
Ilya turns from them to face me. Ilya.
礼を言います。セイバーのマスター。敵であった我が身まで気遣うその心遣い。心より感謝いたしますわ。
Stare at Ilya in disbelief. So sudden is this that even Saber goes quiet. Tosaka just keeps drinking her milk, giving Ilya the stink eye. And then Ilya smiles that familiar smile of hers.
なんてね。やっぱりシロはお兄ちゃんだ。
She launches herself right at me and hugs me around the neck. Hurt.
何者？
Tosaka spits out her milk. What the? I can almost hear the vein popping in Saber's forehead.
離れなさい、この無礼者。
Saber rushes toward me. Ilya twists around, swinging to my back.
無礼者はどっちよ。サーバントのくせに私に意見しようなんて100年早いわ。
あなたに従う義務がなければ意思もありません。減らず口を言う暇があるなら今すぐ城から離れなさい。
シロ、昨日みたいにしよう。あれ、本部って言うんだよね。
Ilya spins around. So silly. Saber hurries after her, trying to catch her. And then I fall unconscious. No, this is bad. What specifically is bad? Well, it's just bad. Two can't stop glaring at each other. It must be because Tosaka is just watching from afar, but she just wipes the milk off her mouth as if nothing's happening and says,
どうでもいいんだけどね、二人とも。そのままだとそいつ死ぬわよ。
The two peer curiously at me. It's pretty clear. My neck's getting wrenched around, and now face the greatest danger of my life. Does Ilya ever say that her father is Kiritsugu? Because, like, I feel like I remember watching the anime, the first anime season, and thinking when she called him brother, I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know? Like, more metaphorically, whatever. But, like, I don't remember ever knowing that they actually had any real connection until, like, Unlimited Blade Works, I think, or maybe it's at the end of the Fate route, like near the very end. Okay, let's review, I guess. Hamburg steak I'd been working so hard on is packed away in the freezer. First, there's Tosaka. She's being quiet. She seems to be keeping a straight face and looks like she's just going to watch how things play out, but who can say what she might be thinking to herself.
何シロ。
Ilya's sitting next to me, and for some reason she looks like she's in a good mood. She's looking curiously around the living room, but it doesn't look like Saber or Tosaka are much concerned to her. Whatever either of them might say is likely to go in one ear and out the other. And then there's the one I'm most concerned about, Saber. She's glaring anxiously at both me and Ilya. She's not usually so fidgety and restless. Feels like I'm resting on a bed of nails, so I can't leave things like this. I don't know what is going to come of this, but I have to do something about the situation. Let's settle this. If we keep this up, it'll drag out until lunch.
そうね。結論は決まっているし、問題は早めに片付けた方がいいわ。そうでしょ、セイバー。
そうですね。私とリンの意見は同じですから。あとはシローに納得してもらうだけです。
I'm getting some deja vu. This might be where they learned she's 18. Saber is really digging her heels in.
ねえシロー、リンとセイバーは何を話したがってるの？
Oh, they want to talk about what we should do with you. You lost your servant, so we want to know what you plan to do from now on.
そんなの決まってるでしょ。教会に保護させるか、森の城に追い返すのよ。どちらにしたってここにいさせる選択肢はないからね。シローもそう思ってるの？
Ilya looks at me, her face emotionless. Oh, well, I gotta know what the heck this is gonna do. Even though I know this is gonna be a bad end. The church should shelter her. That's the safest option, if we're focusing on Ilya's needs.
決まりね。まあ考えるまでもない話だったけど。
当然です。ここでイリアスフィールを受け入れることなどありえません。
シロー？
Ilya looks up at me anxiously.
やだ。違うよね、シロー。シローは私を捨てたりしないよね。
Abandonment. Not again. I press a hand over my chest, feeling it tighten up. I think you should go to the church, Ilya. It's much safer there than here. I make eye contact as I tell her this. Ilya gasps, then freezes entirely. How dare you say in actual truth? Like, I mean, it's literally just... It is true that it's safer there.
イ
Right?
リアスフィール。シローがあなたを助けた以上、私もこれ以上の追撃はしない。
Is Ilya just gonna blow my head off now?
大事に。
やだ
Okay, okay.
シローのバカ、シローのバカ、シローのバカ。私やだよ。教会なんて嫌。他のところも嫌。一人になるのはもっと嫌だ。私はシローのところがいいんだもん。
Ilya cries like a small child. Well, in her defense, Ilya is a small child. I should have known that, of course, but I forgot at this crucial moment. I know. If I really am concerned for Ilya, I can't just entrust her to someone else.
他のところってあんな立派な城があるのに、こんなのアインツベルンからすれば病学の土地ってもんじゃない。
失礼ね。そんなことないわ。ここなんてネズミの爪ぐらいの狭さだもん。だからリーは無駄に大きいけど、私ならちゃんとシローと住んであげられるんだから。
Who does Ilya want to offend here?
そうだよね、シロー。私ここにいてもいいよね。
I think this is a first. She looks at me like I'm some kind of lifeline. Then I remember something I heard a long time ago. My old man always said you should protect girls. Yeah, I take back what I said earlier. That wasn't even a choice. I don't know why we even had that choice. Sorry, Ilya, I was the one who brought you here. Though the Holy Grail war ends until all the remaining masters are taken care of, we're going to give you shelter here.
シロー。
So then, is this an affinity? No, not even. Whoa, that's weird. I thought for sure that'd be an affinity choice. I'm wondering. I just realized I didn't see what happened over here. Yeah, Saber. I don't even remember what the choice was here. Oh yeah, like just attacking, I guess. I guess that didn't matter much. Or maybe, no, I don't think that would have been a dead end though. And then this was a dead end. Don't use Excalibur, use Excalibur. Anyways. Caliber. Anyway. I don't know.
シロー、本当にアメちゃんだ。
Ilya, you're choking me. I can't breathe.
私のマスターに触れるな、イリアスフィール。それとアメちゃんとは何ですか。
そりゃ甘いってことでしょ。もう大甘。
もうさっきから邪魔ばっかりして。あなた、私に恨みでもあるの？
当然でしょう。その身がシローに何をしたか、私は忘れることなどない。シローもシローです。イリアスフィールをかくまうなど百害あって一理なしとわからないのですか。
You got it wrong, Saber. Ilya doesn't have a servant anymore, so she's not dangerous. She's no longer a master. These are just not true things. So she has no reason to fight us anymore. Besides, how would you feel if she got attacked after we abandoned her? Ilya's life would be in danger, and the other masters might gain power from her.
それはそうですが、しかし。
Saber hesitates. No matter what she says, Saber understands that another master might attack Ilya if we leave her alone.
じゃあ次はこっちの番ね。
Now I'm wondering whether Ilya used any of her command spells. I would think so, but...
セーバーを陥落したところ悪いけど、私はまだ説得されてないわ。いいシロ。そいつはまだマスターなのよ。サーバントを失っても、霊樹がある限り、マスターはマスターだって教
She
えた
can
でしょ。
get another servant. She says that. Tosaka just butts in while she sips her tea. Hey, what is that supposed to mean, Tosaka?
だから、霊樹さえ残っていれば、サーバントとは何人でも契約できるのよ。
As many as she wants? Is that how that works? That's the first I'm hearing about it. I don't remember hearing that you can make a contract with multiple servants. I mean, I guess that kind of happens in Heaven's Field, but it's kind of a weird situation.
主のいないはぐれサーバントがいて、かつマスターにそのはぐれサーバントを許容できるキャパシティさえあれば、何人とだって契約はできるわ。
Yeah, I can't think of how that would work in Heaven's Feel. Yeah, I don't know how. I guess it would have to be at the very beginning of the story, though. Right? Well, she was toying with Shiro this whole route. And then she goes into the Berserker fights. I mean, like, she wasn't trying to kill Shiro in that first fight, of course. But then, yeah, like, then she captures Shiro. And then she lets him escape because it's like, oh, it's no big deal. I'll capture him again. But then she's just completely blindsided so hard by Archer's competence that pretty much just derails her entire plan. Like, I guess a lot of the routes are majorly determined by whether who Archer decides to fight, because, you know, even if he loses, it's still like gonna drain their resources quite a lot. But yeah, like I thought everything with Sakura and Ilya was that Saber gets sent to defeat Berserker and beats Berserker, and then I don't remember how Ilya escapes, but Ilya ends up coming to Shiro. I don't remember what at what point that is with Sakura. I think at that point Saber's on her own, I think. But I'm not. But yeah, again, I'll be skimming Heaven's Feel, mostly looking for lore, but mostly skimming it. But yeah, that's gonna be a while from now, since I think I have to get through Unlimited Blade Works. But yeah, I'll be skipping that one almost entirely. Yeah, the exact. Oh really? Wait, but I thought, or is that a visual novel only moment? Well, everything in Heaven's Feel is bizarre, really bizarre. Yeah, I'm really struggling to remember the exact timeline in Heaven's Feel, especially because, you know, it's very difficult for me to overlap and think of each route as being completely different from each other, since there's a lot of overlap. Yeah, but I still don't remember when Ilya would have been antagonistic toward Shiro in the Heaven's Feel route. Yeah, I don't know. What the heck? So if there's a capable master around, they can form contracts with as many servants as they want? You just said that! You just said as many as they want! Technically 7's the maximum, but come on. But they literally just said as many as... She literally just said as many as you want, right? I'm saying that as long as she has her command spells, she can form as many contracts with as many servants as she wants. They can form contracts with as many servants as they want? Not exactly. Like, what? Okay, yeah, that makes more sense that Ilya just... she didn't know Shiro enough at that point, I think, in that route. So then she's like, I gotta just do my job as master, basically. And then she's like, ooh, I might have went too far or something. Oopsie daisy. Okay, this is a hint for later in the roots. Well, sort of. Actually, it's multiple hints. There's two hints. There's two people who do something like this. That no matter how capable, they couldn't have enough magical energy to provide power to multiple servants. But that's deceptive.
あるとしても、その場合は10の魔力を5に分けて2人のサーバントを刺激することになる。そうなるとサーバントの能力は下がるから、複数のサーバントと契約する旨味はないけどね。
Okay. Peak Rin stupidity. Pointless. It's pointless. I mean, as we see in Fate Grand Order, and I know Fate Grand Order is way later after this, but still, like, as we see in Fate Grand Order, quantity does matter more than quality, you know. Like, quality is, you know, important to some extent, but quantity will always trump quality as long as, you know, there's a certain level of quality to the quantity. Having two servants that can support each other's weaknesses is a huge deal. Again, like, if Archer and Saber always fought together, there's no reason why they should lose, really. I see. So if I formed a contract with Saber and Berserker, they would have to split my magical energy between them to maintain their existence, which would drastically weaken both of them. That means it would make more sense to keep to one servant and supply them with magical energy. But to be fair, some servants use a lot of magical energy and some use almost none. So that's not accurate. Some servants, you could just practically put them on autopilot and they would almost never use magic. And so it's like, well, there's no downside to that one. Now that you mention it, didn't you say servants could change masters? Is this what you meant?
あら、珍しく勘がいいじゃない。シローの言う通り、サーバントがマスターを変えるっていうのはそういうことよ。マスターを失ったサーバントは消えるまでいくらか猶予がある。で、その間に他にサーバントを欲しがっているマスターを探して契約すれば元通りってわけ。
だからリンに気を許しちゃダメよ、シロー。そいつだってまだマスターなんだから。シローを殺してセイバーを奪うかもしれないし、まだ生きてるサーバントと再契約するかもしれないわ。
It's kind of silly that she says that since there's only 3 servants left.
そう。それはあんたにそっくりお返しするわ、イリア。
そんなことないもん。私、他のサーバントとなんて組まない。イリアのサーバントはずっとバーサーカーだけなんだから。
I don't know what kind of relationship Ilya and Berserker had, but I do know that servant was special to her. That is a surprise, but at the same time it makes me happy. I'm happy to know that despite the fact that I as master, despite the fact that she's a master, Ilya was relentless and still cherished her partner.
でもシローが負けちゃったらセイバーは私がもらうわ。私はシロー以外のマスターが勝つのは認めない。でももしシローが負けちゃったら私が代わりに勝ってあげるんだから。
Ilya says that proudly, just as she was starting to impress Saber and Tosaka.
バカなことは言わないでほしい。私はシローのサーバントです。あなたのサーバントになるつもりはありません。
別にそれでも構わないわ。私はシローに勝ってもらえればそれでいい。私が勝つのもセイバーがシローを守ってくれるのもどうせ最後は同じだもの。
Huh? What a weird thing to say. Actually, if she wants me to win, why would she think like that anyway? And then Tosaka must have found it strange too. She starts to think.
私は構います。ともかく私は認めません。リン、あなたからもシローに忠告してください。
ごめんなさい。聞いてなかったわ。もう一度言って、セイバー。
ですから、イリアスフィールをここにかくまうのは反対だということです。
ああ、それいいんじゃない？別にかくまうぐらいなら。
Saber freezes. I had advocated for this, and even I'm surprised. I don't blame the opposing Saber for being frozen in shock.
リン、あなた正気ですか？
ええ、冷静に考えてみればリスクはどっちも同じなのよ。イリアを一人にするのもここでかくまうのも教会に預けるのも変わらない。いえ、むしろイリア目当てでマスターが来てくれた方が助かるわ。今のセーバーなら他のサーバントが束になっても負けっこない。聖杯戦争を終わらせるならその方が手っ取り早いし、それはあなただって望むところでしょ、セイバー。
Ah, yes, you've recovered for 12 hours, Saber. So clearly, you're ready to use Noble Phantasms now, right? Oh, wait, probably not.
ま、あなたが他のサーバントに負けるって言うんなら話は変わるけど。
Yeah, just Ren being annoyingly arrogant.
まさか今の私がどのような状態かリンなら分かっているでしょう。シローが私のマスターである限り私に敗北などありえません。
でしょ？ならイリアをかくまうのも問題ない。それに気になることもある。シローの選択はもしかしたらとんでもない妙手だったのかもしれないわ。
Osaka goes quiet. She must have convinced Saber, who reluctantly takes a step back from Ilya. I just feel like that's a really bad explanation for like that doesn't even feel like a discussion at all. She must have convinced Saber. Okay. Okay, I'm taking a break. Wait a second. It shouldn't be too long. Okay. I will be back. All right. Let's hope that this day isn't too long. I'm kind of expecting it to be an hour long, but we'll see. We'll see. We finish breakfast, then move to the dojo. Tosaka goes back to her own room while Saber follows me. As for Ilya,
ねえ、本当に剣の鍛錬なんかするの？
she follows me to the dojo like we're joined at the hip.
私、今日はシロと遊べると思って楽しみにしてたんだよ。なのにセイバーなんて邪魔者はいるし、ここ寒いし、つまんないよ。
Well, I'm not surprised Ilya thinks this is boring. Watching someone train isn't what I'd call exciting.
ねえ、今に戻ろう。強くなりたいなら、私がシロの力になってあげる。
Ilya takes one of my hands in both of hers and tries to tug me away from the dojo. But at least in this, I can't indulge Ilya. No, I can't, Ilya. I train every day, so I can't miss today. I'm not a proper maid, so I need to work hard to be ready to fight. Besides, if I train, I can protect you too, Ilya. I decided to shelter you here, so I should train. Help me do that, just that.
え？うん、それはそうかも。けど私、シロに守られなくてもいいんだけどな。シロはお兄ちゃんなんだから、一緒にいてくれるだけでいいんだもん。
It seems I failed to convince her. Ilya tugs more aggressively at my hand. Saber watches silently all the while. Her eyes burn into the pair of us. She must still not approve of Ilya being here and as being more than a little cord toward her. And then our eyes meet. Good timing. I'll ask for Saber's opinion. I said I can't. Tell her, Saber. Tell her I train with you every day.
私に言うべきことなどありません。イリアスフィールを連れてきたのはシローです。彼女に言い聞かせるのはシローの役割で、私の責務には含まれていませんから。
I don't know why, but I guess she's really ticked off. Ticked
な
now.
んだ、セイバーもよくわかってるじゃない。剣の鍛錬なんてしなくていいのよ。残ってるのは雑魚ばっかりなんだから、そんなの必要ないもの。
Very confused because like knowing who all the servants and masters are right now, I have no idea where Rin and Ilya get their confidence. Like it's so bizarre.
ねえシロ、他のマスターなんてセイバーに任せて、私たちは外で遊ぼう。
Whoa, hey, slow down. I lose my balance and feel myself being tugged toward the dojo's exit. Hey, no, let go, Ilya. I'm not going to indulge you this time. I'm not skipping my swords training. I'm going to stick to it. Sure, you might think it's boring, but I enjoy it. If you're going to complain, then go wait in the living room. I shake her off violently. She obviously didn't expect me to fling her away like that. Ilya backs off, surprised, then looks at me nervously. Crap, I should have been nicer about it. Sorry, Ilya, I was too rough with you, but I'm not going to give up my sword training. I'm sorry to leave you alone, but please stay in the living room. Oh, I guess it's so repetitive. Ilya sulks away toward the entrance, but stops by the wall. Huh?
いいわ。ならここで見てる。それなら文句ないでしょ。
Ilya suddenly roars in defiance. He glares our way, pitching a small tantrum. Well, I don't mind, but it's cold in the dojo, and there's tea and snacks in the living room for you.
私がいいって言ってるんだからいいの。なんだ、シロとセイバーを二人っきりになんてさせないんだから。
Ilya huffs and turns her nose up. Oh well, you're more than welcome to go back to the living room if you get bored. At least things have settled down. Take the two shinai leaning against a wall and turn to face Saber. Then let's begin. It's been 3 days, so I might be a little rusty. Hey, are you okay, Saber? You look a little dazed. Do you have a fever?
いえ、別にそういうことではないのですが。
Saber turns away from Ilya, furiously shaking her head. So are you alright? Let's begin. Here's your shinai.
いえ、投げていただければ結構です。あまり不用意に近づかれては困ります。私たちは剣の鍛錬をするのですから。
Baka. That's what I've been saying. What else would we be doing, Saber? A little confused, I tossed the shinai to her. Besides, I've never once landed a strike on Saber. I've never even gotten close to being within striking range of her. So Saber telling me not to come close seems odd. Saber takes the Shinai tosser a bit awkwardly, then lets out an audible sigh.
それでは始めましょう。今までとは勝手が違いますが、平静を保つようにしろ。
Saber glances at Ilya as she speaks. I'll be fine. Once we've started, nothing will bother me. Grip my Shinai and focus on Saber. She stands in front of me, Shinai in hand. Now my attention is fixed only on her. We spend 2 hours training, then go on break as usual. This just reminds me how amazing you are, Saber. I nod approvingly and gulp some water from the kettle I brought along. Kettle. I bring along kettles, not water bottles. Kettles. I quench my thirst and wipe the sweat from my neck with a towel, which helps me finally relax.
ねえ、今のが鍛錬なの？なんかシロが一方的にやられてたようにしか見えなかったけど。
I hope it gets pointed out that this training is what allowed him to beat Hercules. It definitely was necessary. Ilya's so blunt about these things. Most people would find awkward. That's not true, Ilya. It may have looked like I'm just getting beat up, but it was actually worse before. In fact, I didn't pass out even once, so I'd say I did pretty well today.
そうなんだ。けど、それってシロの腕前なのかな？セイバー、シロが何度もバランス崩してたのに、わざと見逃してたような気がするんだけど。
Ilya's expression turns thoughtful. She's sharp. I found it odd too, actually. Either Saber was holding back out of concern for me, or she isn't in top form. Whatever the case, Saber didn't go all out. Well, she may not always fight seriously while we're training. She's always been merciless about exploiting openings before. Today she lacks drive, though. Normally she just rushes in and attacks hard enough to knock me out, but there was none of that today. You think so too, Ilya? Maybe Saber's given up on me.
不思議とそんな感じはしなかったよ。セイバー、ちゃんとシロに追い打ちしようって竹刀を構え直すんだけど、とっさにやめて下がっちゃうのよ。あれ、何だったのかな？見逃してるっていうより、怖がってるっていうか、遠慮してるっていうか。
Saber would never hold back. If she had the compassion for that, she wouldn't have beat me so bad that first day. Yeah, Saber isn't the sort to hold back in training. That's why I was able to focus so completely on her weapon. What's gone into Saber? This isn't training at all. It seems unbelievable. But did she go easy on me?
いえ、手を抜いていたなどということはありません。私は普段通り、シロより一段階上の剣士を想定して相手をしていたのですが。
Something's not right. Saber has to see it too. Yeah, I can't imagine you ever taking it easy on me, and I know you were being serious, but I think you were holding back. If you don't come right at me, this is pointless.
正面からですか？ですが、そうなるとマスターに近づきすぎです。それでは展開によっては体がぶつかってしまうというか。
Huh? Well, we're sparring. So I guess we might bump shoulders or something. Besides, you used to slam your whole body into mine to knock me down because you said I wasn't defending myself well enough. And close combat is your specialty, Saber.
私、そんなことをしていたのでしょうか?
That's kind of a weird question. Yeah, frequently. Remember how you just slammed me into the wall when we first sparred? I said you were pretty strong for a girl, and you said it was natural for a swordsman. Saber stands there, dumbfounded. What's going on? Saber's acting really weird today. I hate to learn she isn't feeling well. I should talk to Tosaka later. We get back to our training, but it's still different than before. But after just a few strikes, Saber sets down her Shinai. Is this a new kind of training? She might strike me straight in the head the moment I drop my guard and get close. I breathe hard, watching Saber cautiously. Saber narrows her eyes, showing that she is serious now, and steps forward.
シロ、昼食にしましょう。
That's not like her. Huh? I lowered my shinai. Lunch? Is it that time already? According to the clock, it's a bit before noon. Lunchtime for sure, but this is the first time Saber's been the one to step up and suggest it. Neither Saber nor I paid much attention to the time when we were training before. We'd take a break, then notice we were hungry. Then we checked the clock to see if it was about lunchtime. It's a good idea. I could go along with it easily enough. I'm just trying to think. Let's see what this does. Nope, we're going to fast today. They say that when an army runs out of provisions, they tend to find themselves backed into a corner with no time to think. I find myself just blurting that out.
シロ、その今のはどのような意味なのでしょう?
Does that mean you're gonna kill me? Was it confusing? What I'm trying to say is that we're not going to have lunch today. We had a hearty breakfast of Hamburg steak this morning, so I thought we could skip lunch. I'm not sure what drove me to say that, but honestly, I'm not hungry right now anyway. I'm taking the time to spar with Saber, so I want to keep training. So let's keep training. Come on, pick up your Shinai, Saber. I point the tip of my Shinai at Saber.
待ってください、シロ。話は全く言ってたりとも進んでいません。朝食を十分に取ったから昼食はいらないというのはあまりに鮮慮ではありませんか。
What? What are you doing, Saber? Give the Shinai back.
返せません。もう時間がない。私はサーバントとしてマスターに速やかな食事の準備を要求します。
I demand it. Hold on a minute. Saber can be a little weird, but today she's going overboard. Saber, what do you mean? There's not much time. Do you have plans?
特にありません。ですから昼食にしましょうと言っているのです。
Yeah, but I just said we're skipping lunch.
バカな。これだけ言ってもわからないのですか。これが最後です、シロ。今すぐ昼食にしてください。
Saber protests so insistently. I think she might jump at me right now. Just when I was about to agree, I'm unused to seeing her like this as I am. Oh, I hear a stomach growling. Sarah's stomach growls, giving the usual signal of her hunger.
今のセイバー？何？そんなにお腹減ってたの？
いえ、特に空腹は感じていないのですが、体は栄養を必要としているようです。
ずっと動いてたから仕方ないかもしれないけど、はしたないわよ、セイバー。サーバントだからってたしなみを忘れてたらシローに嫌われちゃうんだから。
そのようなことはありません。私はサーバントなのですから、シローが落胆する事柄は私の敗北だけです。
I'm not going to be disappointed because you lost, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other things you can do that might seem odd, Saber.
それだけです。大体空腹時に腹部が鳴るのは正しい身体機能です。それが気に障るというのでしたら、私に食事を与えないシローが悪い。
Saber glares at Ilya, who then glares at me. Then, since according to Saber, I'm the problem here. Also, stomach growling is a result of they're hungry. Stomach is constantly expanding, and oh my gosh. It is constantly moving. The stomach doesn't only rumble when it's empty. The stomach's movement is... I'm hungry. My stomach's about to rumble. People will know I'm hungry if they hear it, though I need to hold it in. Such thoughts make the person tense up, which causes their stomach to contract even more. In other words, I got it. You were just mad because you were hungry. That's why you were all moody. Seriously, I can't believe you're still hungry even after such a big meal this morning. You glutton, you. What?
そういえば静かだから目立たなかったけどリンの2倍は食べてたよね。セイバーって食いしん坊だったんだ。
それは違う。私が大食漢なのではなくリンが小食なのです。シローだって分かって。
I guess you're right. I've noticed she always eats until the very end. I think if she really worked at it, she could eat just as much as Fujini.
そのようなことはありません。一体何を見ていたのですか、シローは。
Oh, sorry. I think I'm starting to blank out here. Sheesh. Yeah, they're talking about her diet. Well, I'm just being honest. Besides, your stomach always rumbles around this time. Glutton or not, I think you just get hungry fast.
ほらやっぱりセイバーったらはしたない。
Alira leaps up joyfully, excited to dress Saber down. Saber, on the other hand, who had been completely distraught earlier, is back to her usual self like nothing happened. Saber, are you mad?
怒ってなどいません。イリアスフィールの言う通り、私は多く食事をとっていますから。体力、いえ、魔力を少しでも多く蓄えて、シローへの負担を減らそうと無理をしていたのかもしれません。
Oh man, this is hitting me really hard. I thought I was feeling perfectly fine, and then suddenly, like, oh, close eyes up. Oh, all right. Saber can only replenish magical energy on her own. She sleeps to reduce her consumption of magical energy. Probably wanted to stockpile as much energy by eating food. Sorry, I wasn't exactly being considerate. Even though we formed a contract, that doesn't give you everything you need. And she requires tens of times more magical energy than I can give. Maybe more. Servants consume massive amounts of magical energy just to keep existing. But the amount of energy Saber can generate in a day doesn't cover all she needs just to exist.
いいえ、理解してもらえたのならいいのです。それよりシロ。
Yeah, I know. I actually made lunch already. We're having bento today, so we can eat them, right?
いいえ、せっかくですから、もう少し鍛錬を続けましょう。
Oh, Saber gives me back my shinai, takes a ready position to start a match. Saber, I thought we were going to eat.
必要ありません。シローはこちらの方が好きだということですので。
A chill runs down my spine. I realize I've made a terrible mistake. Wait, please, let's calm down. Saber, you're really mad, aren't you? Realize how timid I sound.
まさか私に何か変わったところがありますか？
You're absolutely different. You even changed clothes. Her armor. Is she wielding the Shinai while fully armored? She is.
ではいつも通り軽く流していきます。
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna be done after this training. We shall continue with light training as usual. Are you serious? Don't you think this is a little immature of you? She isn't listening. I'm hit with all the force of a lightning strike. Freed from her position as an educator, Saber truly bears her claws. Wait, what? Oh, is this from the not eating?
ちょっとした手違いで命を終えたあなたを昇天させる神霊は
助手の死後の天使1。
しかし人生注意1秒怪我1生。冗談の通じない相手をからかうときは死を覚悟してからかうべきなんですね。
そうみたいね。けどシロ、セイバーの一突きで魂吐き出すなんて可愛いんだからな。
美的感覚が壊れたちびっ子と、それはいいとして、今回の仏さんはわりかし綺麗よね。原型残ってるなんて珍しいんじゃない？
そうね、なんか物足りない感じ。
いじるか。
いじろっか。
よし、これより改造手術を行う。何かの手違いで蘇らないように、まずは両手をガトリング砲に改造するのだ。さ
あ、やっさー。
インスタントにオペ終了。どうかね、全身を改造された気分は。だが君の意志を尊重し、最後の改造脳手術はやめておいた。
おいた。
さあ、このまま自主的に我らトラッカーの一員となるか、洗脳されてマシンとなるか、君の意志で決めたまえ。
実験体が改造されたパワーを使って高速を引きちぎりました。やー、大暴れです。基地が破壊されます。我々は自らの手で最強の敵を生んでしまったのではないでしょうか。
しまった。まずは脳改造からしておくべきだったか。
普通はまず脳改造から始めると思います。
Huh? I just had the craziest dream. Could that have been the afterlife?
気がつきましたかシロ。衝撃もかわせないとも情けない。
Okay, this is absurd. Wait a second. So wait. Okay, let's keep going a little. Hopefully. You didn't dodge at all. So please.
次はうまくかわしてください。剣道に合わせているのですから、死ぬ気になれば少しは耐えられるでしょう。
No, you still want to keep quiet?
当然です。昼食まであと10分。いつも通り限界まで打ち込みましょう。
Saber's Kunai strikes fiercely with a loud cracking sound. Ah, oof, I passed out once again. Should be more careful. Saber is the start to really devote herself to taking revenge if you make her angry. It's noon and we eat lunch. I made a hearty breakfast, so lunch is boxed leftovers.
なるほど。朝の料理をパンに挟んだのですね。
Saber nods her approval while she eats her sandwich. Yeah, I'm like daydreaming too much. Like I start daydreaming and then I'm like, and then yeah, so it's a problem. The way she uses a paper napkin to keep her hands from getting dirty, there's such grace even in the way she eats bento.
朝も思ったけどシロはお料理上手よね。私ね、ご飯が美味しいのはいいことだと思うの。
On the other end of the spectrum, Elia eagerly crams her sandwich into her mouth. I can't tell if she's just playing around or copying me. Elia seems to have better manners than Saber, except at the table.
待ちなさい、イリアスフィール。それでは髪が汚れてしまいます。
Elia must have had butter smeared on the corner of her mouth or something. Saber leans in reluctantly, wiping off whatever it is.
ありがとう。けど、どういうつもり？セイバーは私のこと嫌いなんでしょ？
ええ。今でも警戒はしています。ですが私とて人の心はわかる。あなたには敵意がなく、シローは客人として迎えました。ですから私も最低限の礼は尽くしますし、それにその髪は美しい。目の前で汚れてしまうのはいささか心苦しいというものでしょう。
そんなこと言ったってシローは私のものだけど、まあ少しはセイバーのこと考えてあげてもいいわ。シローを勝たせてあげることはできるけど、私じゃ守ってあげられないものね。
Elia shrugs and takes another bite of her sandwich.
言われるまでもありません。マスターの盾となるのはサーバントの責務ですから。
Sarah responds plainly enough as they eat. Conversation hasn't changed much, but at least they sound calmer. As we relax after finishing our meal, Tosaka comes in.
シローいる？こっちの準備はできたから早めに顔を出してよね。
Message delivered. Alright, I forgot. Tosaka was going to teach me Magecraft in the afternoon. I've never had a proper teacher, so Tosaka's Magecraft lectures have been really helpful. She seems to be willing to keep teaching, so I should clean up here quickly and head over to her. Sorry, but I'm going to head to Tosaka's room. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, so you two should go back to your rooms and rest.
いいよ。私もなんだか眠いし、少しお昼寝する。
Lilia walks out of the dojo, rubbing her sleepy eyes. That's a relief. As long as Lilia goes to sleep, I don't think there'll be any problems with me going to Tosaka's room.
シロー、リーの部屋に行くのですか?
Yeah, I just said that. Tosaka's teaching me Magecraft.
その必要はあるのでしょうか。バーサーカーは通れましたし、私たちが協力して挑む敵は存在しない。
Yeah, well, whatever.
ならば、シローがリンに教わることはなくなったのではないですか。
She might be right. Tosaka's lessons were originally meant to help me when we went up against Berserker. So with him gone, there's no reason for her to teach me anything else. No, Berserker and I still want to learn from her. There's still so much I don't know as a mage, and I'd like to fix that as soon as I can.
そうですか。シローがそういうのでしたら、私に止める権利はありません。
Huh? Saber looks swollen as she says this. Okay, we're done.
じゃあレクチャーを始めるけど、その前に聞いておくわ。あんた、体で壊れちゃったところとかない？
This is a good stopping point. So I'm assuming that there's gonna be something major happening at nighttime. I could be wrong, but it's fine. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think I plan to do day. Well, we'll say finish up day 13 and get through day 14. I think we'll see if that's doable. I might, after that, I might have to end up aiming for one day at a time, because I do know the days get more complicated from here on. Or at least I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, okay, whatever happens tonight happens. Yeah, I don't know. It still seems like it's gonna get more complicated. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I'm hoping there's only like 3 or 4 streams left. Probably 3. I don't think there's gonna be any like super long streams, but I'm just thinking, like, if I did a 5-hour stream, I mean, this stream was surprisingly like 3.5 hours basically, in order to just do the Hercules fight, which I knew was going to take a while, but still, even then. And then we came back and I just know there's going to be something at nighttime. This also, by the way, I'm fully expecting this day 12 is like the last relaxing day or something along those lines. I think, at least, but again, yeah, I don't know how close we are to the end. I mean, I would say day 16 at this point. So 12 and then 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 4. It's fine. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Again, gonna make some good progress. It's the day after tomorrow that I start getting a little nervous, because Genshin 7.0 comes out technically tomorrow at like 11 p.m. But whatever. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna be alternating or what. That would be my guess. I do want to do a lot of streams of that, but I could be overstating it. I'm thinking about how, like, there wasn't that much to explore in the last 2 regions, but I have high hopes for this region, so we'll see. But yeah, again, averaging, hopefully getting about a day and a half in the next stream. But yeah, we'll see. It depends how long the days are. So, thanks for watching. See you.